or virtually for the April 29th, April 29th, 2026 public board meeting. And as is customary, we're pleased to acknowledge our senior leadership, our senior administration, our staff, and joining us today, we also have the Archdiocese, from the Archdiocese of Edmonton, Marion Haggerty France. Marion, welcome. I know there you are, you're right back there. And of course, we also have our ATA rep joining us today from our ATA Local 54, Vice President Owen Holloway. Welcome, Owen. Now, we are also extremely honored to welcome some very special guests, including our Excellence in Catholic Education winners, Maria DeBolt, Liliana Cusi, and Diane Lefebvre. And joining Maria is Assistant Principal Kathleen Hamanashi-Lohner. Thank you to the four of you for being here. As well, it is a privilege to acknowledge Joanna Begg and Tanis Tulis from the Stollery Children's Hospital Foundation for a very special recognition. Thank you to all of you for being here and joining us. We are so excited to be able to acknowledge you in just a little while. We always have much to celebrate, recognizing that our staff is our greatest strength and that our community partners, of course, are valuable contributors to Edmonton Catholic schools and to Catholic education, because of course they allow us to live our mission with clarity and with hope, ensuring that our students' success and well-being always remain our top priority. And on the note of excellence, and as a community of faith, we are honored to call upon Father Julian to please open our meeting with prayer. Thank you, Father Julian.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair Palazzo, trustees, Chief Superintendent Anderson, brothers and sisters in Christ. Let us begin, as we always do in a Christian Catholic tradition, with God's great sign of love for all of us. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. Although Jesus had performed so many signs in the presence of the people, they did not believe in him. Then Jesus cried aloud, "Whoever believes in me believes not in me, but in him who sent me. And whoever sees me sees him who sent me. I have come as light into the world, so that everyone who believes in me should not remain in the darkness. I do not judge anyone who hears my words and does not keep them, for I came not to judge the world, but to save the world. The one who rejects me and does not receive my word has a judge. On the last day, the word that I have spoken will serve as judge. For I have not spoken on my own, but the Father who sent me has himself given me a commandment about what to say and what to speak. And I know that his commandment is eternal life. What I speak, therefore, I speak just as the Father has told me." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
In today's Gospel, Christ speaks almost as a final public cry, a last urgent invitation. He reveals that everything about him is transparency. He does nothing on his own, says nothing on his own, seeks nothing apart from the Father. His entire life is obedience, a perfect alignment of love and will. Eternal life, then, is not merely something he gives, it is the very life he lives, which is the communion with the Father. Today we celebrate the feast of St. Catherine of Siena. She approaches this from within the soul. Catherine teaches that holiness is learning to desire what God desires. Sin is a misalignment, that is, loving what God does not love, or failing to love what he gives. Christ's words, then, are not just instructions, but an invitation into his own inner life of loving obedience. A concrete example makes this a lot clearer. Let us imagine someone in a workplace who is treated unfairly, or spoken unjustly, or spoken too harshly. The natural reaction is to defend oneself, to respond sharply, or to carry resentment. Yet Christ's words call us to something deeper: patience, truth spoken without anger, even mercy. At that moment, there is a choice, not just of action, but of desire. Do I cling to my instincts or self-justification? Or do I step into Christ's way of loving? For St. Catherine, this is precisely where transformation happens, when the soul begins, even imperfectly, to choose as Christ chooses. It slowly becomes united to Him. What first feels difficult or unnatural becomes, over time, a new way of living. Response for the following intentions is, Lord, hear our prayer.
Lord, hear our prayer.
For Catholic education, that our Catholic schools may reveal the glory of God in all that they do, we pray to the Lord.
Lord, hear our prayer.
For Catholic education, that our Catholic schools may continue to nurture relationships of hope, faith, joy, and peace among students, parents, and teachers. And especially today, we pray for our students and staff, administration, and parents of St. Catherine of Siena Catholic School. On this, their feast day, we pray to the Lord.
Lord, hear our prayer.
That our teachers, staff, administrators, and trustees in Edmonton Catholic Schools may be strengthened for their important task in our world and be blessed with God's abundant mercy. We pray to the Lord.
Lord, hear our prayer.
Grant, we pray, Almighty God, that receiving the grace by which you bring us to new life, we may always glory in your gift through Christ our Lord. Amen. The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
And may the blessing of the Lord be upon you with his grace and love for all of us. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Father Julian. We are so blessed for your continued guidance, your inspirational faith leadership, and of course for being a champion of hope at Edmonton Catholic Schools. Thank you. We will now move on to 1.2, and we'll call upon Trustee Fiorello to please read our land acknowledgement.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We acknowledge that we are on the traditional land of Treaty 6 and homeland of the Métis. We also acknowledge the Inuit and other diverse Indigenous peoples whose ancestors have marked this territory for centuries, a place that has welcomed many people from around the world to make their home here. We, at Edmonton Catholic Schools, commit to restoring and honoring the Truth and Reconciliation calls to action. We strongly believe that truth must be acknowledged to move forward to reconciliation. Together, we call upon our collective communities to build a stronger understanding of all peoples who dwell on this land we call home.
Thank you very much, Trustee Fiorello. Next on the agenda is 1.3, roll call, and we'll note for the record that all trustees are present. We will now move on to 1.4, approval of the agenda, and I am looking for a motion to approve today's agenda as circulated, and I do recognize Trustee Mutala in queue. Go ahead, please, Trustee Mutala, to make this motion.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to approve the agenda for today's meeting, April 29th, 2026.
Thank you. Do you wish to speak to your motion?
No, thank you.
Thank you. And seeing no one else in queue, we will now call the vote. Thank you. As all trustees have voted and are in favor, we'll note for the record that the motion to approve today's agenda as circulated has been approved. And as such, consent items 1.4.1.1, 2026 to 2027, division school year and year-round school year calendar update, that's a mouthful, and all recommendations contained therein have also been approved. And we'll now move on to approval of the minutes 1.5, and once again are looking for a motion to approve 1.5.1 minutes of the regular board meeting of March 25, 2026. And I do recognize Trustee Tiber in queue. Go ahead, please, Trustee Tiber.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to approve the minutes of the regular board meeting, March 25th, 2026.
Thank you. Do you wish to speak to your motion?
I do not.
Thank you. And seeing no one else in queue, we'll proceed to call the vote. Thank you. As all trustees have voted and are in favor, once again, we'll note for the record that the motion to approve the minutes of the regular board meeting of March 25, 2026 is carried. And next on the agenda is 1.5.2. As there are no matters arising from the minutes, and we're trying to go really fast because we've got something really exciting to share with you, we're going to proceed to 1.6 on the agenda, which is recognition that we are extremely proud of. Excellence in Catholic Catholic education winners, beginning with 1.6.1, Maria DeBolt, and we'll turn it over to you, Chief Superintendent Anderson.
Thanks very much, Madam Chair. Each year, Edmonton Catholic Schools names 3 teacher or administrator recipients for the Council of Catholic School Superintendents of Alberta, or known as CCSSA, their Excellence in Catholic Education Award. Recipients are chosen based on their significant contributions to creating a culture of excellence for staff and students in the wonderful journey of Catholic education. And so we are excited to acknowledge and celebrate Maria DeBolt, who is a principal of St. Philip Catholic Elementary School. Maria leads with compassion, clarity, and deep respect for the dignity of every person. Her Catholic leadership is expressed through strong parish partnership, intentional faith formation, and a steadfast commitment to inclusion, reconciliation, and wellness. Maria fosters a school culture where student voice is valued, staff feel supported, and gospel values guide daily practice. In moments of both challenge and celebration, she leads with service and care, strengthening community and belonging. Maria's leadership is a powerful reflection of excellence in Catholic education. And so, Maria, thank you for your commitment and dedication to the St. Philip community and to our division. And so, Madam Chair, our recommendation is that the Board of Trustees recognizes and celebrates Maria DeBolt for receiving the Excellence in Catholic Education Award.
Thank you very much, Chief Superintendent Anderson. And so we live for this. I just want you to know. Like, we try to rush through the first part, and then after this, that's business of the meeting. But this part, honestly, we thrive on this. And so congratulations, Maria. Congratulations for so many things. First of all, the significant contributions that Chief Superintendent Anderson has already shared. And of course, for serving, and I'm going to call you a beacon of hope. As a beacon of hope in answering, and I get really emotional, I'm going to tell you why in a minute, in answering the call to faith-filled leadership. Your leadership is a compelling witness to the power of compassion, of faith, and of purpose within Catholic education. With clarity and care, you uphold the dignity of every person, fostering a school community where every individual is respected, heard, and valued. Your pastoral guidance, along with your steadfast commitment to nurturing a culture of belonging and respect, is deeply commendable. Your dedication to Catholic education stands as a testament to the transformative power of faith-based leadership. Thank you for cultivating a culture of excellence for the students and staff at St. Philip and for strengthening the broader community at large. Through your commitment, you have fostered an environment where gospel values are not only taught, but they're lived each day. Your ability to lead with both strength and humility, especially in times of challenge and celebration, has nurtured a profound sense of belonging among students, staff, and the wider community. You inspire, Maria, you truly do, through your example of service and your unwavering dedication that every voice matters. Your leadership is a powerful reflection of excellence in Catholic education and a lasting gift to all those you serve. And incidentally, okay, get ready. I had the privilege of knowing Maria as a student in that capacity. Guess what school she went to? Yes. Just saying. Now, back then, Maria, you were an exceptional role model of Catholic education, and clearly you answered your calling with profound passion and commitment, and this recognition continues to reflect the indelible mark that you continue to create on our division, all of which makes you a valuable asset and a blessing to our division as a Catholic educator and leader. And I could keep going on forever and ever, but of course there's other trustees who would also like to say a few words. And so before reading the recommendation, I do see Trustee Engel first in queue, and so I will turn it to you next.
Maria, thank you. Thank you for your dedication to your role as principal and educational leader in St. Philip's. I was looking at the winners before I sat down, and I was thinking, I know you. I don't know you, but you can't be a principal. You look way too young. is that Maria? Is that St. Philip's? Because all we had was the sort of the agenda with the names on, and putting a face to the name and figuring out which one of you was which one of you was kind of fun. And I was right. You're Maria. Anyway, I can't thank you enough for what you do, for the leadership that you give, for the children, what you do for the kids, what you do for the teachers, and making future leaders out of those that work with you because they're inspired. I'm humbled when I listened to what Chair Palazzo and Chief Superintendent Anderson have said about you today. It's humbling to see what you've achieved at this young age. And I'm just so grateful that you've chosen Edmonton Catholic to make your mark. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Trustee Ingle. And I do need to thank you because by ensuring that you've shared with her that she's young, it means that I'm young. Thank you very much. That's not
I wasn't surprised you taught her.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And so next in queue is Trustee Tiber. Go ahead, please, Trustee Tiber.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Everybody's young. Let's just put it that way. So first of all, congratulations. I thank you for truly living out the mission, our mission this year, People of Hope. And you are our hope. And culture is so important, not only within the division, but it's also important in each of our school sites. And that is only achieved through people with your leadership. People who have strong leadership, strong commitment to our children, because those are the reason why we're all here, but it's everybody around those children that we need as well. And everybody right through our entire community. So I just wanted to say a quick thank you and congratulations. You totally deserve this.
Thank you very much, Trustee Tiber. Next in queue is Vice Chair Tuchansky. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It is truly a privilege to recognize you, Maria, an extraordinary leader whose work reflects the very heart of Catholic education and everything we want in our principals at Edmonton Catholic Schools. This award, of course, as you know, is one of the most meaningful recognitions in our province. It honors all of those who go above and beyond, not only in the profession, but in their vocation. Those who model faith, nurture young people, and help shape school communities grounded in our gospel. So today, we are so proud to congratulate you on receiving this prestigious award. You clearly lead with a quiet grace that is deeply rooted in faith. You're thoughtful, intentional, and are always centered on the dignity of every person that you serve. Through your parish connections, your faith, and a clear commitment to inclusion and wellness, you have created a school community where people feel seen, valued, and supported. And I know whenever we walk into St. Philip, there is a sense of belonging. Students know that their voices matter, which is so important to each and every child. Staff know that they're supported, and this year we know that's even more important. And through it all, gospel values are not simply spoken, they are lived every single day. This recognition is extremely well-deserved. You are a gift to your school, to your students, and the families that you serve. And Edmonton Catholic Schools is proud to call you one of ours. On behalf of myself and the board, congratulations, and keep up this extraordinary work. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vice Chair Tuchansky. Next in queue is Trustee Mutala. Go ahead, please.
Maria, I'd like to be able to see you over there. Sorry, the computer's on the way there. Everybody has said such wonderful things about you, but I just want to say congratulations on winning this prestigious award, and thank you very much. And the thing is, in your school, Catholic leadership in your school community and parish, your St. Philip communities, you serve as a role model for all. And thank you for creating a culture where everyone feels heard and welcomed. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Trustee Mutala. And seeing no one else in queue, I'm honored to read the recommendation for the record that the Board of Trustees recognizes and celebrates Maria DeBold for receiving the Excellence in Catholic Education Award. Congratulations once again, Maria. Our next Excellence in Catholic Education Award recipient is 1.6.2, Liliana Kusi, and I'll turn it back over to you, Chief Superintendent Anderson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And so we are pleased to acknowledge and celebrate our second recipient, Lily Kutsi. Lily is principal of Monsignor Fee Otterson Catholic Elementary Junior High School, she is a faith-filled leader who lives out Catholic values with authenticity and purpose. Her leadership is grounded in gospel teachings and guided by the belief that love, belonging, and dignity must be at the heart of Catholic education. Lily fosters a Christ-centered school culture where faith is woven into learning, relationships, and service, and where every child is valued, every day, no exceptions. Through her inclusive leadership, commitment to parish partnership, and dedication to spiritual growth, Lily is a true witness to excellence in Catholic education. And thank you, Lily, for being a dedicated, faith-filled Catholic leader, and just having visited your school recently can see so much evidence of that come to life. So thank you for all that you do. And so our recommendation is that the Board of Trustees recognizes and celebrates Lily Coetzee for receiving the Excellence in Catholic Education Award.
Thank you very much, Chief Superintendent Anderson, and congratulations to you, Lily. Your significant contributions to fostering a culture of excellence for the students and staff at Monsignor Fee Otterson are truly commendable as well. Your passion for engaging youth and inspiring them to grow as disciples of Christ is evident in all that you do. The way that you intentionally embed faith into daily life, ensuring that every child is valued every day, no exceptions, I love that, speaks powerfully to your dedication to Catholic education. On a personal note, I would be remiss if I didn't share how proud I am to know, for all of you to know that I knew Lily as a former student of Edmonton Catholic. Guess where she went to school?
O'Leary!
You know, I know, right? Like her journey, your current journey, it is shaped in part by that community, if I, just saying. The love, the sense of belonging, the respect for dignity that you model every day, Lily, are the very same quality that you demonstrated as a student, now magnified through your leadership. And for me to say that I'm proud would be an understatement, honestly. Like your fellow recipients, Lily, you have answered the call to faith-filled leadership. You have created a culture grounded in gospel values and excellence. You inspire your staff, you inspire your students to lead, to serve, and to teach with purpose, undoubtedly shaping future educators and leaders who will one day point to you as their inspiration. As a matter of fact, I saw it happen here today, where we had an individual, and you can say, but who said you were her daughter's favorite teacher. I am confident, Lily, that your passion for teaching and leadership is already taking root in those you serve. So we're expecting to see many more teachers coming through, all as a result of you, because we need them desperately. Your leadership, Lily, as you and I have shared many, many times, is a profound reflection of what it means to serve with faith, with purpose, and with heart. In all that you do, you bring those gospel values to life, reminding those around you that true leadership is rooted in love, in dignity, and a deep sense of belonging. And that's you, through and through. Through your unwavering commitment to Christ-centered school community, you have cultivated an environment where faith is not only lived, but woven seamlessly into learning, relationships, and service. Your inclusive spirit, Lily, ensures that every child is seen, valued, and uplifted each and every day. You lead by example, Lily. You inspire others through your authenticity, your sincerity, your collaborative spirit, and your dedication to spiritual growth. Your work also stands as a strong testament to the transformative impact of Catholic education at its very best. May you continue to guide, to inspire, and to shine as a beacon of faith-filled leadership. Your contributions are a lasting gift to the lives of so many who come across your path. Thank you for everything that you do. And again, I know that before reading the recommendation, I better turn it over, and I can only imagine what our Vice Chair is going to say next, but she is next in queue. So Vice Chair Turchansky, go ahead, please.
I can't believe nobody's crying yet. And congratulations, Lily, for being such a strong leader who so beautifully lives out the mission of Catholic education. It's an honor to congratulate you. on receiving this award. Your work reflects a deep and genuine commitment to Edmonton Catholic schools and Catholic education. You lead with intention and with heart, always grounded in a belief that every student is created in the image and likeness of God. Your approach is thoughtful, compassionate, and you consistently create spaces where your students and staff feel welcomed. They feel supported and inspired to grow, both spiritually and personally. And your presence in your school and community is steady and uplifting. You foster meaningful relationships with students, staff, and families, and your leadership helps to build a culture where kindness, respect, and faith are lived daily. You have a remarkable ability to bring people together, encouraging a shared sense of purpose and belonging. But what stands out most for me is the way you live your faith through action, through moments of care, through encouragement of others, and through dedication to the well-being of those that you serve around you. This recognition is so well-deserved. You came back to a school that you previously served at, and your strength is exactly what the community needed. Your commitment to Catholic education and the example you set for your students and colleagues truly embodies the spirit of this award. And I would be remiss to not mention that when we were at ULEAD a number of years ago, all Lily wanted at the end of a very long day was a donut. And we went hunting all around the Banff Springs Hotel for a donut. And to this day, we never did find one. So thank you for your love of donuts, as never we've seen before other than in the police service. And of course, the difference that you make each and every day to our students. Thank you, Lily.
Thank you. You knew that was going to come out, right? You knew that, yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you for the beautiful tribute. Next in queue is Trustee Tiber. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So if you go looking for donuts, I also want to come with you because I like donuts as well. But I'm not surprised. Honestly, I've had the honor to serve Ward 77 with you when you were at St. Clement, and it was an honor for me. And you truly live the value where every child is valued every day, no exception, full stop. I've learned that very, very fondly of you, and you care. You care so much about your staff, your students, the community, your school, and it's inspiring. And you always leave me in such awe. And you are a role model. You are a role model to us, you're a role model to your school, whatever school's community you serve. And I do believe that it is a privilege to have you share your gifts and your talents with so many students and so many more to come. So again, we look forward to see where you go and to follow your career and to follow all the community and all the lives that you make a difference in. And this is why you're so deserving of this award. So thank you and congratulations.
Thank you. Well said, Trustee Tiber. Next in queue is Trustee Engel. Go ahead, please.
Thank you so much, Lily, for all that you do in our schools, and congratulations in winning this prestigious award. My colleagues have said it so well. Your welcoming smile at all of our events, it's just no surprise that you would be a Catholic educator worthy of this award. I also want to add that it's so important to have you in these leadership roles. More and more and more, I see the school becoming the church. A lot of students see and learn about our faith through the school. And to have leaders like you really, really gives comfort that our faith is alive and well, and that young people are learning about our faith, about the life of Jesus, about that we are all welcoming, that we care for creation and we care for one another. And you are setting that example in spades, and it's going to have a ripple effect down the line in the lives of those children and in the lives of our Catholic Church. So thank you so very much.
Thank you very much, Trustee Engel. Next in queue is Trustee Mutala. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Lily, congratulations on winning this award, just for being a faith-filled leader who fosters a sense of love, belonging, and dignity in your school community. Thank you for being a true witness to excellence in Catholic education through your inclusive leadership, parish partnership, and dedication to your spiritual growth. So thank you and congratulations.
Thank you very much, Trustee Mutala. Seeing no one else in queue, I'm honored to read the recommendation for the record that the Board of Trustees recognizes and celebrates Lily Kusi for receiving the Excellence in Catholic Education Award. Congratulations, Lily. And as good things come in threes, our next Excellence in Catholic Education Award recipient is 1.6.3 Diane Lefebvre, and I'll turn it back over to you, Chief Superintendent Anderson.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. And yes, we do want to acknowledge and celebrate our third recipient, Diane Lefebvre, who received this award while serving as principal of Our Lady of Mount Carmel Catholic Elementary School. Diane is a leader who combines vision, precision, and genuine care for people. She is deeply committed to instructional excellence, particularly through innovative, faith-infused STEM programming and strong assessment practices that support both students and teachers. Diane leads with clarity and trust, strengthening school operations, communication, and community engagement. Known for her strong relationships and steady leadership, Diane creates a school culture where learning thrives and people feel supported. Diane's thoughtful, student-centered leadership exemplifies excellence in Catholic education. And now Diane has assumed the role of principal at St. Nicholas Catholic Junior High School, and we're excited to see where she will continue to share her many gifts. So Diane, thank you for exemplifying excellence in Catholic education. Madam Chair, our recommendation is that the Board of Trustees recognizes and celebrates Diane Lefebvre for receiving the Excellence in Catholic Education Award.
Thank you, Chief Superintendent Anderson. This is so much fun. And congratulations to you, Diane, for your significant contributions to creating a culture of excellence. Now, I'm not surprised to hear of your exemplary leadership journey, a journey that has touched the lives of so many, myself included. And okay, I'm going to say it. While Diane was not a graduate of O'Leary, hang on to that thought, she was a wannabe. She admitted as much to me, right? Yes, she did. She said so. Did you not? Yes, she did. In fact, she said, I didn't. I wanted to. I did go to St. Cecilia, but my son attended. I thought, good enough for me, for you to gain a Spartan title, a wannabe, once a Spartan, always a Spartan wannabe. But she did her student teaching at O'Leary. I knew it. Yeah, thank you. And so you see, and for this reason, Diane, your leadership stands as a powerful, powerful reminder that excellence in education is not just about going to O'Leary. It's about achievement, about purpose, about care, about the courage to innovate. That's you. You have shown that when vision is guided by faith and grounded in genuine compassion, that it creates a lasting impact on both students and staff and all of those who walk alongside them. And you are a visionary in this area. Through your dedication to instructional excellence and your commitment to nurturing both minds and hearts, you have built more than strong programs. You have built a community where people feel seen, supported, and inspired to grow. Your ability to lead with clarity, trust, and integrity has shaped a culture where learning truly inspires. And while you leave a void at Our Lady of Mount Carmel, your wisdom, your vision, and passion has already left its mark. But what stands out for me most is the acknowledgement that you are known for your strong relationships and steady leadership where learning thrives and people feel supported. This is not something you learn, Diane. This is something you're born with. And regardless of where you are and where you lead in your midst, you'll thrive. As you begin your new chapter at St. Nicholas Catholic Junior High School, may you continue to lead boldly, inspire deeply, and uplift everyone in your care. Your work is a testament to the difference that one faith-filled leader can make. Thank you. We wish you continued success and fulfillment in this next exciting journey, and that it continue to be an inspiration for us all, because it already has. Thank you. And before reading the recommendation, I do see Trustee Mutala in queue. I'll turn it to her next. Go ahead, please, Trustee Mutala.
Diane, congratulations on winning this award at Our Lady of Mount Carmel School, which is my school. Thank you very much. I visited it often, and I've witnessed to see what Diane has done there. You've won this award for leading with clarity, trust, strengthening school operations, communication, and community engagement. Your strong faith and steady leadership help build strong relationships where every student feels welcome, thrives, and learns, and they are included and supported. So congratulations on winning this award, and good luck in your new role. I'll come and visit you once in a while. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Trustee Mutala. Next in queue is Trustee Tiber. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And again, congratulations. I mean, these award is something that you really do have to have that vision, that focus, that ability to bring the community together. And it's not just in the schools. So you're looking outside of the school. You're looking at everything that really comes together for a truly publicly funded Catholic education in Alberta. And it's incredible that it's not just, the education component, it's also the STEM component. And that brings a whole new challenge to the role as well. And for you to still rise above and succeed in being able to bring all of that together, that's inspiring, and that's truly inspiring. And, I just think that, now that you're taking on a new role, a new challenge, you're just going to be able to share and continue to build a community of faith for so many more people. So congratulations. And we, again, look forward to following where you go and the commitment and the changes you make in our lives. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Trustee Tiber. Next in queue is Trustee Engel. Go ahead, please.
Thanks, Diane. And congratulations on the award and your new assignment as principal. So happy to hear about both of them. Something Chair Palazzo said in her remarks really resonated with me, that the kind of thing you do in your school and the faith you show and the relationships you build isn't something you learn, it's something about you, and it's the something that makes you fantastic. And I really thank you for sharing those gifts. I think somebody said, Laura's always saying we're all young. No, I'm not young. I've lived many moons. And one thing that I have learned is that it is all about relationships. Being in relationship with God and being in relationship with one another. And you have shown that, and you have shown innovation to lead. And I tell you, we're so happy that you, as well as your fellow winners, are part of Edmonton Catholic Schools. And I waited till the last recipient to say this, but you are going to be honored at the Blueprints Retreat next week. Unfortunately, it's one of the first ones I have to miss. I'm really sorry about that. But one thing brings me great joy, that this group of people I serve with, I think the majority of them are going, as well as our chief superintendent. When we talk about survey results, when we talk about what kind of leaders we need, when we talk about what kind of results we need to see, we're actually talking about finding individuals like you. So when they find them, and they're there in front of them, they will celebrate you. I leave it to them, and I've seen them in action, so I have no doubt they are going to really honor and celebrate you at your award ceremony and throughout the week at Blueprints. So thank you, Diane. Thank you to you all.
Thank you very much, Trustee Engel, and thank you for the acknowledgement. Yeah, we absolutely will be there to honor you. Next in queue is Vice Chair Tuchansky. Go ahead, please.
Good grief. Thank you, Madam Chair. So there are moments in our work when we are reminded how extraordinary Catholic education is because of the people who bring it to life each and every day. And today is this moment. You are a leader who brings both vision and precision to your work, always grounded in a deep and genuine care for others. Mount Carmel is a vibrant and complex school community, quite different than when I was there. But it has so many academies under one roof, and you lead it and led it with remarkable grace and clarity. That kind of leadership requires not only strong organization, but a steady presence, thoughtful decision-making, and a deep understanding of the diverse needs within a social community. And you embody all of that and more. Clearly guided by the mission of Mount Carmel to develop resilient, curious, and critical learners while nurturing gospel values, you created a culture where both students and staff can truly flourish. Your commitment to instructional excellence, including innovative, faith-infused STEM programming, and strong assessment practices that support meaningful learning for every student. Your leadership reflects a thoughtful balance, one between independence and support, and between individual growth and community. The social action and social justice of that school is remarkable. And these are not just words in your vision statement, it's lived every day. And now as you step into your new role at St. Nicholas Catholic Junior High School, this clearly shows who you are as a leader and your capabilities. You are strong. We know that you will continue to share your many gifts and positivity, and you will impact another school community, although we will miss you at the Mount Carmel hockey tournament every year. This award is clearly you. You are a remarkable leader, and your commitment to Catholic education is evident in all you do. Thank you for the example you set for all of us and for the gifts and talents that you bring to our division.
Thank you very much, Vice Chair Szczanski. But if you invite us to the soccer tournament, we'll come there. Yes. Yeah. Thank you. And so seeing no one else in queue, I'm honored to read the recommendation for the record that the Board of Trustees recognizes and celebrates Diane Lefebvre for receiving the Excellence in Catholic Education Award. Congratulations once again, Diane. Now, to all three of our Excellence in Catholic Education Award recipients, we're not going to let you go just yet, but we do want to share these final words with you. We are truly blessed. You've heard it here today. I mean, you're recipients of this prestigious award. It's been shared here time and time again this afternoon. Not only are we truly blessed for your servant leadership, but it is with profound gratitude that we applaud your commitment to Catholic education and to say, well done, good and faithful servant. Now, what I do need to say is what stood out for me the most this afternoon is how humble the three of you are. So as these recognitions were read about you, you were kind of now when it was read about your colleagues, you were smiling and looking at them. But when it was about you, you were kind of looking down, and I thought, not that Catholic leaders need to be that way, but boy, oh boy, can you pinpoint them from a mile away. Thank you. Thank you for your servant leadership, for who you are, and for all that you bring to Edmonton Catholic Schools. We are so extremely proud. And so that being said, we do want you to stay for just a little bit longer, and then, because we, on the heels of very good news stories, we have another excellent item on the agenda. And the reason I'm pausing a little bit is I've got this, we can't turn the laptop down, but it's bothering me because I can't see you. So, and I keep looking, and I'm going to go like this. Is that okay? Okay, perfect. So we have our next agenda item is 1.7, Stollery recognition, and we'll turn it to you, Chief Superintendent Anderson.
Thanks very much. So we are excited to share that our division has been recognized by the Stollery Children's Hospital Foundation for its commitment to pediatric health care, having raised more than $100,000 in support of the Stollery. So Edmonton Catholic Schools has supported the Stollery Children's Hospital through donations to support purchasing of advanced medical equipment, innovative research, and compassionate care for children in need. To date, the division's total contribution has reached $165,837, reflecting the generosity and collective efforts of students, staff, and school communities. In recognition of this milestone, the foundation will be installing a commemorative plaque later this month. And so we're proud that these funds have been raised through a variety of meaningful initiatives across the division, including the Heart of Glee event that was previously hosted at the division level, as well as numerous school-based funding activities. Together, these efforts demonstrate Edmonton Catholic Schools' ongoing commitment to supporting the health and well-being of children and families in our community, while fostering a strong culture of service, compassion, and social responsibility among students. Administration and our Board of Trustees will be invited in the future for a tour of the Stollery Children's Hospital to view the plaque that recognizes our longtime support. And just want to take a moment also to recognize Cheryl Shinkarik, Manager of Programs and Projects, who does so much behind the scenes and supporting all the work that is contributing to this recognition. And so, Madam Chair, the recommendation is that the Board of Trustees acknowledge and celebrate Edmonton Catholic Schools' continued commitment to supporting the Stollery Children's Hospital Foundation through ongoing fundraising and community engagement initiatives.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we're going to applaud you as well.
Yeah, we are.
Now, the reason I said that is because while you're here recognizing us, we're here acknowledging all of you. Thank you very much, Chief Superintendent Anderson, Manager Shinkarik, for bringing this honorable recognition to our public board meeting today. So on behalf of the board, I am deeply honored to acknowledge and celebrate this recognition from the Stollery Children's Hospital Foundation. And I mentioned to the both of you that the Stollery is very near and dear to my heart, as I had the privilege of joining my daughter during her time as a volunteer at the Stollery. And it was through your mission that she decided to join Make-A-Wish team and later got her master's in public health, and it all started with you. And I just wanted to applaud you on that because of the compassion and the generosity that happens at your facility with your foundation, that it's an eye-opener for everyone in the community to serve the students and families that are in so desperate need of love, compassion, and kindness. And so, yes, while this plaque represents the collective heart of our school communities, students, staff, and families who've come together in compassion and generously donate $167,000 in support of children and families in need, is a reflection of your passion, your dedication, and your commitment at large. Each initiative, each contribution reflects a simple but a powerful belief that when we act in love and service, we help bring healing and hope to others. And as a Catholic community, we are called to live our faith through action. Our partnership with the Stollery reminds us that even the smallest gestures, when united, can make a profound difference in the lives of children and families facing great challenges. This partnership reminds us all that when a community comes together in compassion, extraordinary things happen. And we acknowledge this recognition with gratitude and renewed commitment to continue fostering a spirit of service, compassion, and hope in all that you do. Thank you to the both of you and to your teams for the life-changing work that you carry out every day and for allowing us to walk alongside you in this mission. Thank you. And before reading the recommendation, I've got to look at my everything's lighting up because everybody wants to say something, so I'm going to turn it over to my board colleagues. First in queue is Vice Chair Duchansky. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Wow, what an incredible reflection of the generosity of our students, staff, and families, and the kind of compassion, service, and social justice that our Catholic schools demonstrate. In fact, I felt kind of sheepish because when we were clapping for you, I felt like we were kind of clapping for us too, like, way to go, Edmonton Catholic Schools. So for me, however, this is very personal. When my youngest was born, we needed the Stollery Children's Hospital twice in fairly quick succession. And it's in those moments that you really understand how important this place is. The care, the expertise, and the kindness shown to myself and families stays with you forever. So this recognition and the commemorative plaque being installed this spring truly means something to me. It represents a community that shows up for one another in every meaningful way possible. And I'm so excited and grateful for the opportunity to tour the Stollery and see the plaque, and I'm especially looking forward to continuing to support the Stollery. And in an interesting bit of news, the chair of the Board of the Trustees of the Stollery is a graduate of Edmonton Catholic Schools, Kevin McKee, and a graduate not of O'Leary, but of Louis St. Laurent. So take that, board chair, Palazzo. So I also do hope that Edmonton Catholic Schools plays a huge part in helping bring the new Stollery to life for families across the city. So thank you.
Well, I didn't expect that, but you know what? Good on Louis. Yeah, I'm really pleased. Thank you so much. Thank you, Vice Chair Tuchansky. Next in queue is Trustee Fiorello. Go ahead, please. Oh, yep. So, yeah, I had you on. So, could we get Trustee Fiorello back? And otherwise, I have to. Thank you. There she is. Go ahead.
Thank you. Sorry. Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to say this is also a bit of a full circle moment for me. My role prior to being a trustee, I was actually in a position at the U of A funded by the foundation. And so I got to witness firsthand the incredible impact of the work that the foundation supports. And so it is I'm just delighted to be on this side now, being able to provide support back to the Stollery Foundation, knowing how meaningful and impactful and fantastic the work that you guys support is. And so I look forward to the continued relationship as we continue to support all the things that you guys do. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Trustee Fiorello. Next in queue is Trustee Tiber. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I truly believe this is amazing too. And I think so many parents with Edmonton Catholic Schools, because we all try to have children, have a stollery story. And I have too, unfortunately, had to go to the stollery with my children as well a few times. One was quite severe, and it was because of, not only the way the children were taken care of, but it was how the parents were taken care of as well. Because when you're there, you're not quite in a good frame of mind. There's so much going on, but it's something that, you come out knowing, okay, I'm okay. My kid's okay. I'm okay. So it's always that relief. And I think that's why it's so easy when parents hear, oh, well, we're raising money for the stollery. Absolutely. There is no doubt, here. And the fundraisers, we've seen it time and time and time in our schools where they're fun for the kids, but at the end of the day, it makes such a bigger impact in the community abroad. So it's a great story. It's a good lesson for our children. And it's something that I think we can carry into the future time and time again. So I appreciate everything you do. I'm excited that our schools are so committed to the stollery because, we're in the children business as well. So I think it's amazing that we can work together like this. So again, thank you and appreciate everything that you do.
Thank you very much, Trustee Tiber. Next in queue is Trustee Engel. Go ahead, please.
I'd like to begin by saying this board is not competitive at all. I am from the West End. I represent the West End, and I would just like you to know Prime Minister Carney graduated from St. Francis Xavier School.
But is he funding the stollery?
I think he might be. I don't know. If we tell him FX is doing a fundraiser, I think it's something you could look into. That's why I brought it up. Anyway, thank you to the members of the foundation that are here, and thank you to Manager Shinkarek for creating these programs and these partnerships, because without you, these things wouldn't happen. And so I really thank you. And I'm so excited to go to the stollery. Luckily, I've never personally visited the stollery with my children, but I have heard many stories. The board one evening helped prepare lunch at the Ronald McDonald House, and I talked to many families who had stories about the compassion and the care that the families received while their children were being treated at the stollery. I also have a lot of friends who donate to the foundation because of the work you've done. And in the words of Laura Tiber, I think the reason this is kind of a mutual recognition, us recognizing you and you recognizing us, is because we are in the business of children. And we got to stick together because it takes all of us to make sure that they're healthy and educated. And so thank you for what you do and for the important work your foundation does. Take that back. And again, very excited for the tour. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Trustee Engel. And so, seeing no one else in queue, I'm honored to read the recommendation for the record. And before doing that, while I'm not going to welcome you to the Spartan O'Leary family, I will welcome you to the Edmonton Catholic family.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And please share our gratitude with everyone back at the stollery. And the recommendation is that the Board of Trustees acknowledges and celebrates Edmonton Catholic Schools' continued commitment to supporting the Stollery Children's Hospital Foundation through ongoing fundraising and community engagement initiatives. Thank you once again. Now, before we proceed to business of the meeting, we want to provide all of our special guests being recognized today with the opportunity to slip away and enjoy the gift of time, or you're more than welcome to stay for what promises to be a very long meeting. But that being said, I'm thinking that, this would be your getaway. Yeah, this is the time. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. See you in a couple days.
So what a delightful start to our meeting, and the delight continues as the first agenda item under business of the meeting is 2.1, 3-year education plan and implementation plan, and we'll turn it back over to you, Chief Superintendent Anderson.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. And so I am pleased to present the Edmonton Catholic Schools 3-year education plan to you today. I will highlight a few pieces for you, and then Superintendent Peterson and Manager Rofi will share information about our implementation plan for the next 3 years. The first thing you will notice is that we are going to move away from the term Division Plan for Continuous Growth, which is what we have used for many years. And going forward, we will refer to this strategic plan as our education plan. Sorry, I'm just going to pause for 1 second. I think we're waiting for the advancement of a slide. Yeah. Oh, perfect. Thank you. And so just mentioning that going from Division Plan for Continuous Growth to the education plan, there's a few reasons for that. First and foremost, that is the language that the rest of the province uses. It is a term that you will see used in the Alberta Education and Child Care Assurance Framework. And since this is the language that is used by government, we also see this language appear in our board policies. And finally, calling it the education plan shifts the focus from the division to the education of our students, which is our core purpose. This plan is rooted in the 3 priorities that you have set as a board after robust engagement with school councils and school administrators at our Community of School Councils meeting last fall, as well as with our student voice team. Each of the goals in this education plan reflects at least one of the priorities, and many of the goals reflect multiple priorities. And so the first priority is learning and living our faith, which reflects feedback from school councils, administrators, and students that our Catholic identity should be more than a subject matter. It should be a vibrant, engaging, and active, and students should experience it throughout their school day. The second priority is excellent learning experiences. This priority is reflected in the classroom experiences and programs that students can access so that they can have their needs met and their passions ignited. Edmonton Catholic Schools is committed to ensuring that each student experiences the conditions that are necessary for their own optimal learning. Parent, guardians, administrators, and students have told us that they want their learning to be relevant to real-world context and to help them develop the competencies that they need to become good humans and good citizens. And our third priority is nurturing student well-being. Again, all the voices that inform this plan shared that the spiritual, mental, and physical well-being of students is a great concern for them, and that this is foundational for them to be ready to learn. As I shared earlier, our goal through this education plan is to ensure that through consistency of expectation and practice across all levels of our division, we have high-quality school leadership and quality teaching that results in optimal learning for all our students. That is at the core of the quality standards that you see on the screen. So recognizing leadership quality standard, superintendent leadership quality standard, and teaching quality standard all come to the core purpose of optimal learning for all students. And that is at the core of our standards that govern teachers, administrators, and superintendents. With respect to the goals in this plan, they are designed to develop the competencies that we would expect all ECSD graduates outlined here in the portrait of a graduate, which are deeply rooted in our Catholic context. These competencies are the result, again, of multiple engagements with the board, student voice, school administrators, division leaders, and consultants. And so you will see the list of competencies to the right of this image. Again, through extensive engagement over the course of almost 2 years, we arrived at 9 conditions for optimal learning that we determine are necessary in order to achieve the competencies that we envisioned through our excellent Catholic educational opportunities. Each of these goals in our education plan 2026-29 is designed to ensure that these 9 conditions exist consistently and robustly in our schools. That does not mean they are absent at this time. The plan will ensure that every school is consistent and that we have common language, strategies, and expectations. And so at this point, I will turn it to Superintendent Peterson and Manager Rofi to share our plan for implementation of the education plan.
Thank you, Chief Superintendent Anderson, Madam Chair, and trustees. You can see here in this animation the ecosystem of optimal learning. The student as the seed planted in the center of everything we do. The conditions wrap around them continuously, nurturing their growth and achievement. And at this time, Manager Rofi is now going to take you through how we are going to implement the goals of the 3-year education plan in order to realize optimal learning for every student in our division. Manager Rofi.
Thank you, Superintendent Peterson, Madam Chair, trustees. So we've just shared what our education plan is, and I want to talk about how it actually comes to life. And so for me, optimal learning is like planting a seed. We can have the best intentions and we can have the best plans, but growth doesn't happen just because we planted something. Growth happens when the conditions are right. And that's what optimal learning in this education plan gives us, a shared understanding of the conditions that allows students, every student, to grow and thrive. And in our context, those conditions don't just support learning, they also strengthen faith. And so just like in a garden, not all seeds need the same thing. Every student comes to us with different strengths, needs, experiences, and gifts. So our work isn't to treat every learner the same, it's to truly know them. Because when we know and understand our learners deeply, we can create the right conditions for each of them to thrive. And so at this time of year, and especially this week, and I was glad it wasn't last week giving this presentation, we're starting to dream of summer. And so one of my favorite places in summer is my community garden. And when I think about it, I'm not picturing all of the hard work it's going to take. I picture the end, full of growth, fresh food, everything thriving. That's the vision. In Catholic education, it's the same. We want to see our faith-filled students thriving, competent, capable, and living out those competencies we've defined. But that growth doesn't happen by accident. And so we have to prepare the soil. This is my beloved. What I did not capture was us preparing the soil, digging out the sod and the chunks, tilling it over and over again, planning where everything will be planted, getting rid of the pests, when and why. And right now, across our division, we are preparing the soil. Our new education plan is rooted in optimal learning. That means before we plant new goals, we need healthy soil. So we have to step back. Before anything grows, we prepare the soil. And for us, the soil is those learning conditions. And this is where optimal learning becomes so important. It gives us a shared language, a shared focus, and a way to align what we're already doing. Because this work is not about adding more, it's about strengthening what matters most. And so this is where we see our faith deeply present in our staff. We're not just pushing growth, it's about strengthening the roots so that growth isn't inevitable. And our faith is deeply present here, even in something like joy and rigor. Joy isn't just about being happy or edutainment. It's about that deep sense of fulfillment that comes from meaningful work, growth, and perseverance. The understanding goes all the way back to St. Thomas Aquinas, who said that joy and challenge are not opposites. They belong together. Our students experience joy through striving, growing, and succeeding, and that's the kind of learning we're creating. And so, no garden exists in isolation. Each one is part of something bigger, and that's true for us as a division. What happens in one school impacts another, and what we learn in one place strengthens practice in another. And so, much like if you zoom out to see a community garden, optimal learning helps us move from isolated pockets of great work to a connected ecosystem of learning. It gives us a shared language and shared direction while still allowing each school to respond to its own context. Now, growth is going to take time. This is not just a quick rollout, it's a 3-year journey. And right now we are preparing that soil and building that shared understanding. Next, we're going to be deepening and refining our practice. And over time, we'll begin to see what growth takes place and holds across the system. It's intentional and it's sustainable. So the next question becomes, what are the tools we're giving to schools to even do this work? And so first of all, we have created a central hub, a place where everything lives so schools know where to go and how it all fits together. One of our most powerful tools we have is called the Success Matrix. This is not a checklist or an evaluation tool. It's a conversation tool that can be used at all levels of planning. Each matrix directly corresponds to a goal in the education plan. So imagine superintendents being able to have conversations with administrators, administrators to teachers, teachers to teacher colleagues, and you could even use it as a personal reflection document for your own growth plan of where are you currently seeing yourself in optimal learning. It helps each team or individual ask, where are we now? What does growth look like? And what are our next steps? It supports reflection, planning, and professional dialogue in a way that's grounded in real classroom practice. That's the essence of the continuous improvement cycle. Most importantly, it allows schools to co-construct what this looks like in their own context. It builds shared understanding and collective ownership across the division. We also know that you can't be what you can't see, and so we are building a high-impact strategy suite with team members of learning services, religious education services, Indigenous learning services, and even technology services. These strategies will bring the research to life, showing what strong practice actually looks like in classrooms. We're not just prescribing or giving a to-do list, but we're modeling it in classrooms in action, so teachers can see it, adapt it, and make it their own. And for our school leaders, we have created the Facilitator Hub. This gives them a starting point with ready-to-use modules to guide staff learning and build shared understanding of optimal learning. The modules support teams in exploring learning conditions, what they are, why they matter, and how they show up in practice. They also support understanding of student competencies, those outlined by Alberta Education and Childcare, as well as our own Catholic faith-centered ones. We show how those develop over time through intentional opportunities for learning. And finally, this is where it all comes together, the Optimal Learning Working Group. This represents a shift. We're not downloading to schools, but we're building with schools. Self-nominated teams comprised of the administrators, instructional coaches, and select teachers will come together to the table at the same time with division leadership to roll up our sleeves and get the work done. We're going to be creating spaces where educators co-construct, test ideas, refine practice, and learn from one another. And then, of course, share out with the rest of our schools and leaders. It's how we build real coherence across the system, not through compliance, but through shared practice. And so you can see in the image that we have on the slide that it's going to be that center-out approach where we are developing it through the heartbeat of school teams and letting that spread more. The way we'll have the optimal learning working groups is so that every school can see themselves in the work, no matter what their specialization is or where they are in their learning journey. Because in the end, this isn't actually just about a framework. It's about creating the conditions where every student can grow into who they're meant to be. With the clear new focus of this 3-year education plan on student growth and achievement, we have been able to create a clear pathway for implementation that provides schools and staff with a comprehensive set of resources and tools from the start. I'd now like to pass it back to Chief Superintendent Anderson.
Thank you very much, Manager Rofi and Superintendent Peterson, and also want to acknowledge the rest of the executive leadership team because it has been a journey over almost 2 years, and it began with the question, what does optimal learning look like for our students at Edmonton Catholic Schools? And so this plan, this education plan and the implementation plan with strategies will bring more clarity and build that cohesion that we are seeking across the division. And so, Madam Chair, we have 2 recommendations to bring forward. The first recommendation is that the Board of Trustees approves the Edmonton Catholic Schools 3-year education plan 2026 to 2029.
Thank you very much, Chief Superintendent Anderson, Superintendent Peterson, and the entire team, including the resource staff. Of course, we have Susan McCauley on there, and to you, Manager Rofi. Manager Rofi, thank you. Thank you for your passion, and I absolutely love the garden analogy, the optimal learning almanac. I love the creativity, the innovative, optimal thinking, and faith-filled learning. Like, it was exceptional. Honestly, I thought, I wish I could be back in the classroom and being able to do all of this work, but thank goodness it's you and not me, because I don't have to do all that thinking. But that being said, thank you to all of you for this excellent report, robust engagement, and of course, for today's excellent presentation. This comprehensive and thoughtfully developed plan is in clear alignment with our division priorities, with intentional focus on fostering student learning, well-being, and faith formation, and the commitment to ongoing evaluation and transparency. The Board of Trustees values the voice of families, students, and staff, and it was crucial for us to listen carefully to what our educational partners considered what was of greatest importance as we establish priorities for the next 3 years. That being said, these priorities will provide great focus for our schools as they participate in the continuous improvement cycle. And knowing that at the heart of the plan is ECSD's mission to provide a Catholic education that inspires students to learn and prepares them to live fully in God and in one another, we are excited to see the 3-year education plan come to life as it builds on the journey of optimal learning, especially the way you described it here today. And of course, it outlines how schools in our division will support student growth to help ensure that they experience high-quality learning across classrooms and our schools, while allowing teachers, and I love this part, the flexibility to meet the needs of all of the students. And as this recommendation requires a motion, I will turn it to Trustee Mutala, who's in queue, to please make this motion. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that the Board of Trustees approves the Edmonton Catholic Schools 3-year education plan 2026 to 2029.
Do you wish to speak to your motion?
I think I'll save it for the second part.
Thank you very much. And so see no other trustees in queue, although I will open up the queue. Should there be any questions and or comments? Seeing none, then we will call the vote for this first part of the recommendation. We'll call the vote. I don't have to. No, it's not too late. No, I can, or do you want to wait for the second? Okay, thank you very much. So we will call the vote for this first motion, please.
Yeah.
Thank you. As all trustees have voted and are in favor, we'll note for the record that the motion is carried. We will now turn it back to you, Chief Superintendent Anderson, for the second recommendation.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Our second recommendation is that based on the evidence provided in the Edmonton Catholic Schools 3-year education plan 2026 to 2029 and implementation plan, the board determines that the following quality indicators have been met as per Board Policy 12 Appendix B relative to the current evaluation period. Quality indicator 1.1, 2.2, 2.3, 8.1, 8.3, 8.4, 8.5, 9.1, and 10.3.
Thank you very much, Chief Superintendent Anderson. As this recommendation also requires a motion, I'll turn it back to you, Trustee Mutala, as your first in queue, to please make this motion.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that based on the evidence provided in the Edmonton Catholic Schools 3-year education plan 2026 to 2029 and the implementation plan, the board determines that the following quality indicators have been met as per Board Policy 12 Appendix B relative to the current evaluation period as previously read.
Thank you very much. Do you wish to speak to your motion?
Yes, I do. Now
ahead,
I will.
please.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to Chief Superintendent Anderson, Superintendent Peterson, Susan McCauley, Trish Rofi, Manager of Curriculum, and whoever else was involved with this beautiful plan. This was, thank you for creating and submitting it to Alberta Ed on time by May 31st. First of all, thank you for doing that. And presenting this wonderful report with our priorities of learning and living our faith, excellent education experiences, and nurturing students' well-being as determined through the engagement with our school councils, school leadership, and our student voice group. These goals and strategies are designed to ensure that students in Edmonton Catholic Schools experience the conditions that lead to their optimal learning and to the development of competencies within our Catholic education context. I am very grateful that central to our 3-year education plan is our mission to provide a Catholic education that inspires students to learn and prepare them to live fully and serve God and one another. And like Sandra said, Chair Sandra said, that she wishes she was back in school to have all these beautiful resources. I would have loved to have all these resources when I was teaching as well. So thank you very much, and I love your analogy with the gardening. Beautiful.
Thank you very much, Trustee Mutala. So at this time, I will once again turn it to the board for any questions and or comments, and I do see Vice Chair Tuchansky in queue. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I, for one, am glad I'm not back in school because I was a terrible student and this wouldn't have helped at all. But thank you for all the work that has gone into the development of the Edmonton Catholic Schools 3-year education plan. It is thoughtful, it is intentional, and it reflects a deep commitment to the students and families that we serve. This plan is grounded in who we are, our mission to provide a Catholic education that inspires students to learn and prepares them to live fully and to serve God and one another. That mission is not just words on a page. It is something that comes to life through the work of all of our staff each and every day. This new 3-year fixed plan represents so much. By committing to sustained, focused work across the priorities of learning and living our faith, excellent educational experiences, and nurturing student well-being, we are creating the conditions for consistency, growth, and a lasting impact across our division. What stands out and what I respected the most is the depth of engagement. As my colleague had said, from the school councils to school leadership to student voice, it is a plan that reflects our entire community. It honors the unique context of each of our schools and the students in them, while providing a clear and cohesive direction for all. There is also a strong sense of accountability and transparency throughout. Through tools like the Division Assurance Dashboard and our annual survey processes, families in the broader community will be able to see how we are progressing and where we continue to grow. And importantly, this plan reflects our continued commitment to inclusion, to reconciliation, and to ensuring that every student experiences the conditions necessary for their success. So to Chief Superintendent Anderson, our senior leadership, our administration, and every single staff member who contributed and brought this plan forward, thank you. The level of care and collaboration that has gone into the work does not go unnoticed. This plan sets a strong and thoughtful path forward for the next 3 years, and it does so in a way that is grounded in faith, focused on students, and reflective of the excellence we strive for as a division. Thank you all for your continued commitment to our staff, students, and families.
Thank you very much, Vice Chair Tuchansky. Next in queue is Trustee Engel. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And again, not that we're competitive, but I was on the board that created the mission statement that everybody's read. Sorry.
No, it's all good. Yeah, I would do
Anyway, I'm just saying how really very old I am. I would like to start out by thanking Chief Superintendent Anderson for engaging the services of Santiago. We as a board were able to hear him, and he covered with us what he was covering with you. And I think that that was a perfect step in defining optimal learning. We all sort of have our idea of what optimal learning is, whether it's hands-on or a book or a visual, but you put it together so perfectly. We plant the seeds, and then we must look at not all seeds need the same attention to grow. So I love the analogy, just love it. And it helps explain that you want to be optimal for every plant that grows, every child that we serve. So I think Santiago did a really good job. He's been with us, what now, Lynette? 3 years. And he's planted some seeds in us with respect to collaboration, to group work, to depending on each other. And I like that his focus never seems to be top-down, but it always seems to be the wheel of collaboration. And over the years, we've heard many teachers say we just don't want all this downloaded on us, we have too much. But in this plan of optimal learning, what I see is rather than a download, I see a community building each other up and being able to offer optimal learning to their students. So I really thank you for engaging Santiago. I thank Superintendent Peterson, Manager Brophy, and of course Susan McCauley, who helps bring everything together, for the exceptional presentation. I'd like to be a fly on the wall when Alberta Education reads through some of our stuff, because it's so freaking great.
I don't want to be a fly on the wall, but I wish I could be I wish we could have them present to Alberta Education, because I really think the presentation was phenomenal. I really do. Yeah, thank you very much. And thank you, Trustee Ingle, for referencing Santiago. I forgot to mention, but the minute you said it, I thought she's absolutely right. Thank you very much. And for bringing, I mean, we had the luxury of being able to listen to Santiago as well, and truly compelling. So thank you so much to you as well, Chief Superintendent Anderson. And so Trustee Tiber, you're next in queue. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And again, I appreciate everything that's in this plan. I think everybody's put it together. Now, this year when I'm planting my garden, I'll be thinking in my mind, not carrots, zucchini, tomatoes, but I'll be thinking goals, critical thinking, faith, and I'll just plant them all together and watch it grow. Now, another part that I really, really do appreciate about this whole plan is the community engagement side of it. I think I've said it several times, you know, as a board of trustees, I learned a long time ago that the number one goal of the board is community engagement. And for us to be able to constantly bring the voices of our parents, of our community, of our students, and everybody into this, to be able to create this in a way that, like it was said, it's not top down, but it's working together in a circular motion. And that motion obviously is going to build momentum as it continues to grow. So I just really wanted to, again, bring in the community engagement side of this, because I know there's so much work that you did, like so much work to put this together. But again, you always look to the community as well to say, how is this going to help our students? Because again, at the end of the day, our students are the reason why we do what we do. So I appreciate that, and I thank you so much for everything. And thank you for the mental note of planting my garden this year.
Thank you very much, Trustee Tiber. And so now you can create those optimal conditions.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's working. Yeah. So seeing no one else in queue, I will turn it back to you, Trustee Mutala, should you wish to close your motion at this time.
No, I'm good, thank you.
Thank you. And so we will now call the vote. As all trustees have voted and are in favor, we'll note for the record that the motion is carried. Thank you once again. We look forward to learning more, engaging with our educational partners about optimal learning framework over the next 3 years. Thank you. And so we will now proceed to the first agenda item under number 3, presentation and review of accountability reports, 3.1 human resources report, and we'll turn it back over to you, Chief Superintendent Anderson.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. So, as you know, human resources plays a foundational role in supporting the mission, vision, and operational effectiveness of Edmonton Catholic Schools by overseeing the full employee life cycle for approximately 5,500 staff across the division. This would include recruitment, staffing, orientation, professional learning, leadership development, employee relations, contract and collective agreements, payroll, benefits, and so much more. The list goes on. Today we have Superintendent Kennard and her team to share details about the work they do to support our division.
Thank you. It's our pleasure to be here today representing our HR team. So Manager of Recruitment Staffing, Crystal Jones, and I will share with you how Human Resource Services at ECSD is building purposeful pathways for the next generation of Catholic educators at Edmonton Catholic Schools. Human Resource Services supports every employee across Edmonton Catholic Schools. Our work spans recruitment, onboarding, professional development, employee and labor relations, payroll, and workplace safety. We also ensure compliance with employment legislation and collective agreements, which is critical for maintaining fairness and transparency. Beyond operations, HR plays a leadership role in shaping positive, faith-filled workplace culture. Ultimately, our goal is to ensure that every employee feels supported, valued, and equipped to succeed in their role and contribute to student success. Across our HR work, the focus continues to be on building a culture-driven approach to recruitment, one that reflects vocation, belonging, and purpose. That work is intentionally aligned with our promise of Teach Where You Belong, which guides how we attract, welcome, and support employees across the division. We're also more intentional about connecting with future educators earlier through partnerships, storytelling, and clearer pathways into our system so that Edmonton Catholic Schools is seen as a place people choose, not just a place they apply to. Once educators join us, mentorship and coaching play a critical role in helping new teachers thrive, not only in their instructional practice, but in managing the full complexity of the profession. We also recognize that creating a welcoming and supportive workplace is not the responsibility of HR alone. It's a shared responsibility across leadership, schools, and teams. From an HR perspective, our role is to strengthen the overall employee experience because that directly supports retention, workforce stability, and continuity for students. Taken together, this work is about sustainability, supporting the people who serve our students today and over the long term. Much of our work in the past few years has been guided by this workforce research completed through the College of Alberta School Superintendents that was presented in August of 2024. This document was accurate in predicting the challenges we continue to experience in teacher recruitment across Alberta. At that time, it was predicted that there would be a need for up to 2,140 teachers in Alberta for the 2024 school year, with only 2,180 graduates coming out of our education programs. It's important to note that not all graduates from an education program will choose to work as a teacher in Alberta. Global data is also saying the same thing, so UNESCO predicting a shortage of 44 million teachers by the year 2030. In a highly competitive labor market, our response has been to act earlier, move more intentionally, and stay grounded in who we are as a Catholic division. We're using more proactive hiring timelines and a responsive strategy so we're not competing late for talent, particularly in hard-to-fill roles. Recruitment is increasingly relationship-based across all our employee groups, helping candidates understand our expectations for professionalism, community, and Catholic identity before they join us. We're also emphasizing strength-based placement because alignment and readiness are drivers of retention. Enhanced onboarding and beginning teacher supports help new staff feel supported early when belonging and commitment are being formed. Finally, improved workforce data allows us to make timely staffing decisions that support stability for schools and students.
This quote from Pope Leo reminds us that teaching is never separate from love or from service to our communities. As much as data and labor market realities guide our decisions, this perspective grounds our work in vocation and purpose. It reinforces why supporting teachers, professionally and personally, is essential to sustaining Catholic education. At its core, this is the lens through which our HR work continues to be shaped. As we think about responsive recruitment, we're asking ourselves a few very important and guiding questions. How do we redefine belonging for educators in a way that is authentic, supportive, and aligned with our Catholic identity? Where can we begin building earlier and more meaningful connections so people feel connected to Edmonton Catholic before they even apply? And how do we continue adapting our recruitment practices to meet the needs and expectations of the next generation of our teachers? These questions are shaping how we recruit with intention, clarity, and care. As we think about recruitment and retention, it's important that we understand what today's emerging educators are actually looking for. We consistently hear that welcome and belonging matter greatly, alongside authenticity and transparency about expectations and the support they will receive. Balance, well-being, and opportunities for collaboration and mentorship are also key drivers in whether educators choose to join and stay with our division. Importantly, many educators come with their own faith story, and our approach is to be clear, respectful, and invitational while remaining grounded in our Catholic identity. These insights continue to shape how we recruit, onboard, and support staff across Edmonton Catholic schools. A key part of responding to today's labor market is how we build authentic recruitment relationships. We're partnering earlier with post-secondary institutions, not just at the practicum stage, so that future educators become familiar with Edmonton Catholic School as a community and not just an employer.
We're also engaging future teachers through storytelling and connection, helping them understand our mission, our values, expectations, and what it means to actually belong here. Creating clear pathways from within continues to be important for us, supporting transitions from student to support staff to teacher. And finally, we're being very intentional in how we support our hard-to-fill roles, particularly in early learning, our language programs, inclusive education, and CTS, where the need for teachers is the greatest. This work helps strengthen recruitment while supporting long-term retention and alignment with our mission. In a competitive labor market, our directions remain clear and intentional. We are building foundations that address both present pressure and our future needs. Catholic identity expectations are embedded in our hiring, onboarding, teacher supervision and evaluation, and supported by faith formation that is ongoing and invitational. Our recruitment team works closely with our colleagues in religious education services to support our new educators through the hiring process and into their career with us. Our focus is on early career supports where it matters and where retention impact is the highest. Once teachers are in our schools, support, growth, and connection become critical to retention. Consistent early check-ins help ensure a strong start and surface concerns before they become barriers. We're creating space for reflection and growth where teachers feel safe to continue developing their practice. Building networks where every teacher feels seen and valued really matters, especially in their early years. Celebrating successes and personal stories reinforces that teaching here is not just a job, but truly a vocation lived within a Catholic community. And at its core, the work is about stories, relationships, and belonging shape our vocation, strengthened through collaboration between our departments and our schools. Recruitment is everyone's responsibility. When people share their authentic stories about why ECSD is a great place to work, they reinforce that it's all our job because every interaction shapes who chooses to belong and stay here.
The work of our recruitment team is ongoing, and once staff chooses to work with us, they're supported by the entire HR team. A strong workplace culture and staff well-being are foundational to both retention and effectiveness. We continue to focus on strengthening a psychologically healthy and safe culture by reinforcing respectful practices, encouraging open reporting of hazards and incidents, and ensuring staff feel safe to speak up. Our integrated health and well-being framework helps bring this work together, allowing us to address physical safety, mental health, and overall wellness in a coordinated way. We're also intentional about increasing awareness of mental health supports, including our employee and family assistance and working mind training, so staff know what is available and feel supported when challenges arise. Our most recent core audit score of 93% reflects strong and consistent health and safety practices across the division. Taken together, this work supports a culture where staff feel respected, cared for, and are able to bring their best selves to work within a Catholic community. A key focus of our HR work is supporting both staff and leaders in a proactive and timely way. Proactive coaching builds confidence in leaders, particularly principals and managers, so they feel equipped to manage complex people situations early and effectively. Early intervention is critical. It helps prevent issues from escalating and allows concerns to be addressed at the lowest and most appropriate level. We place strong emphasis on conversations that set clear expectations while also prioritizing restoration and healthy relationships. Daily support for schools and departments ensures issues are addressed quickly, consistently, and with care. Together, this approach builds trust, supports well-being, and contributes to retention across the system. So we have this quote here: "Fads fade and cycle, but the human desire to be taken care of never goes away." At the heart of all this work is a simple truth. When people feel cared for, they're more able to care for others, and that is foundational to our mission and to Catholic education. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent Kennard and Manager Jones, and for your collaboration and support that you provide to all staff across the division. And as was shared, recruitment and retention is relationship-based, and what really struck me was Pope Leo's quote, "Our work can never be separated by love." Thanks for sharing that and everything that you do. And so, Madam Chair, our recommendation is that based on the evidence provided in the Human Resources Services report, the Board of Trustees determines that the following quality indicators have been met as per Board Policy 12, Appendix B, relative to the current evaluation period. Quality Indicator 4.4, 5.1, 5.2, 5.4, 5.5, and 5.6.
Thank you very much, Chief Superintendent Anderson, Superintendent Kennard, Manager Jones, and team. You know, the choice of words that you used today, authenticity, transparency, and intentionality resonate. It is everyone's job. You're absolutely right. And we as a board received that memo. We recruit everywhere we go. Some even go as far as to poach Catholic education teachers, if you can believe it. They were a wonder at a breakfast that we were at a few weeks ago. But that said, this presentation and report are excellent, outstanding as a matter of fact, and need to be applauded. On behalf of the board, we are profoundly grateful for the work, the critical work that each one of you do, and the fact that you work closely with religious education defines who we are. Thank you for that. Supporting over 5,500 staff across the division is no small task, yet your team manages it with care, professionalism, and a clear sense of purpose, having established strong, consistent practices, as you shared here today, that enhance organizational effectiveness. And for this, we thank you and we applaud you. What we loved most is that HR came to talk to our student voice team, and they were extremely impressed by their presentation. So when you talk about how do we get that recruitment and retention, and like maybe even within, you did that. And so you put your words into practice, and again, extremely appreciated. The work that you do, as you indicated today, as was reflected in your report, from recruitment to leadership development to employee relations to ensuring safe and healthy workplaces, is no doubt that we were identified once again as a top employer, not only for our staff, but ultimately for the students and families that we serve. Thank you. Your commitment to aligning human resource functions with our mission and upholding our Catholic identity alongside our operational excellence does not go unnoticed. And for that, we commend you for this comprehensive approach to supporting our staff across the division while ensuring, and you said it best, authenticity, transparency, intentionality to ensure staff well-being. Kudos to the both of you and to the team that does this very critical, important work. And as this recommendation is a motion, I will turn it to our Vice Chair, who's in queue, to please make this motion. Go ahead, please.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I move that based on the evidence provided in the Human Resources report, the Board of Trustees determines that the following quality indicators have been met as per Board Policy 12, Appendix B, relative to the current evaluation period. Quality indicators 4.4, 5.1, 5.2, 5.4, 5.5, and 5.6.
Thank you very much, Vice Chair Duchansky. Do you wish to speak to your motion?
I sure do.
Go ahead,
First, I want to say poaching is a bit of a strong word for what we were doing the other weekend. But holy doodle, this report is remarkable. And thank you, your whole team, for the extraordinary work that you do in supporting Edmonton Catholic schools. Without you, we'd have no staff. And we'd have a whole bunch of kids running around with nothing to do. But when we think about our division, over 5,500 staff serving more than 50,000 students, it's easy to focus what happens in the classrooms. But behind every classroom, every school, and every successful student experience, there is a strong foundation, and that is our Human Resources Department. Your team touches every stage of our employees' journey, and they do so with a level of care that ensures our staff feel supported, prepared, and valued. It is remarkable how intentionally this work is aligned with who we are. Through your collaboration with Religious Education Services, Human Resources Services ensures that our hiring and promotional practices not only bring in strong candidates, but also individuals who understand and embrace their role in faith formation. And that is not something that happens by accident. It is purposeful work. There's also something very special happening within that work, and that is the growing pipeline of our own students choosing to be educators. That speaks volumes. It speaks to the experiences they had in our schools, the relationships they built, and the sense of belonging they felt. And by schools, I mean all of them, not just O'Leary. We need to capitalize on this unique and extraordinary group of students and make sure that we reach out to them early and often. And I truly believe this. I believe that each and every one of those future educators belongs with us. And of course, you and your team are helping make that possible by supporting pathways, creating opportunities, and ensuring strong, consistent practices. You're not only meeting today's needs, but helping to build the future of our division. To Chief Superintendent Anderson and our entire Human Resources team, thank you. Your work is often behind the scenes, but its impact is felt everywhere, and we are grateful for all you do to support our staff, our students, and our families.
Thank you very much. Excellent. Vice Chair Duchansky, thank you so much for your words. Next in queue is, so I will open up I will open up queue to the board for questions and or comments, and I do see Trustee Taber first in queue. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I too love that, all the different ways that you recruit. I think it's very innovative. I think it's creative. I mean, even coming to Student Voice and just saying, hey, have you ever thought about being a teacher? So just planting those little seeds, again, along the way, I think is very creative. And, we do talk to everyone. And the board recognizes the demand so much that we have put it, again, in our provincial advocacy document. And so not only are we talking community, but we're talking to the government about it as well. And when we're talking about supporting student growth and achievement, number is our staff. And one of the points is increased demand for certified teachers combined with fewer applicants has resulted in teacher shortages that directly impact student learning. So our solutions that we do talk to the government about is we talk about growing the Bridging program, attracting people from their trades, cross-ministry collaboration to recruit and train teachers in EAs to meet significant HR demands. So not only are we recognizing that we do need our teachers because they are extremely important because you don't want students, doing nothing during the day, but I do believe that the board recognizes that the work that you're doing and recognizing that we want to be able to advocate alongside of you. So I do appreciate that we have our ability to talk to the government as well as our community to stress the significance of what our schools and our classrooms truly need. So thank you for all the things that you do, and we look forward to walking alongside with you to really build our Edmonton Catholic schools.
Thank you very much, Trustee Taber. Well said. Next in queue is Trustee Engel. Go ahead, please.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Chief Superintendent Anderson, Superintendent Kennard, all the Human Resources. What a delightful presentation. We are a family, and we really feel it when you present. And I think one of the things that makes us family is our faith. I know my daughter is a teacher with Edmonton Catholic, and she's relocating to Calgary. And she said, Mom, I easily got a job at both boards, as we know. But she said, I want the Catholic board. And I said to her, what exactly? And she said, the faith formation that we get from the courses that she took at Newman, straight through to the celebrations at the school, and the feeling of just being so supported and having, your family with you. And you guys do such a great job of that. There's so many things I would like to point out in your presentation that I see you doing, but I'd like to just pick one, the job fair. That was absolutely fantastic. People felt like that they were, already accepted from an audition to Hollywood. Like they were prancing around like red carpet celebrities. And that's how you make the teachers feel. And so I think that that's really important because it shows how much you value them. And I really honor that the work you do in that area and the presentations that were done that evening. I think we are the preferred employer. I'd like to maybe point out over there in the corner the shelf where we're the top employer for the last 11 years. Thank you, Peter. He's being my guide there. It really does make a difference. And I don't know, I think my colleagues can support this. We often hear from student teachers We like Edmonton Catholic Schools. We like to be there. And so we just have to get those stories out. That combined with we have to work very hard to get the proper resources in our school overall for the teaching profession of Alberta, because some of those facts and figures you presented us with are very scary, and that not all teachers in education are going to end up teaching. And I think that we have a lot of work to do outside of just our division, but within the profession. So thank you, because it's in good hands with what you're doing here right now. And I'm glad we have you to figure out the problems of the future and how we are going to be in 2030. So thank you so much for everything you presented.
Thank you, thank you. Extremely well said. Thank you. I was thinking, you had me all over, like I was thinking about the plaques at the back. And remember when we've got the first one and then we said, oh, we need to get one so they can just come across, and then they just keep coming. And they just
we
keep
all want
coming.
two.
Now we're working on 2 per trustee. No, thank you. Thank you very much. That was excellent. And Trustee Mutala, you're next in queue. Go ahead, please.
Well, everybody has said everything so wonderful, and I just want to say a big thank you as well. But there's one question I have. With the announcement that the government just has put out recently about expedited teaching certificates, are we concerned about that, and what are we doing, and how are we going to be handling this? Because, I mean, I was a teacher for 27 years, and we had lots of training, plus masters and everything else. So now you're going to be getting, and you know we have complexities in the classroom, so we're going to be getting teachers that are coming into our classrooms that maybe don't have the full training that some of us had before. So can you help me out there a little bit?
Sure. Chairperson Palazzo through to Trustee Mutala. We also saw that information earlier this or last week, I guess. So we are still waiting more information to determine what that looks like for us operationally. So teacher certification goes through Alberta Education, and so that would be how those individuals would get their teacher certification. One thing that will remain is our high standards that we have for hiring, and so that's really important. So while we do appreciate and have great hope as people of hope for some relief to our staffing shortages, one thing that won't change is the high standard that we have for the teachers that work with us.
Thank you for reassuring me on that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I had no intention of asking a question, and so my question is going to be rhetorical, but I'm going to say it. So thank you very much. Of course, you're right. There's a lot to unpack, and there's still a lot coming forward. And so, of course, one of the concerns that we've shared time and time again when we have the opportunity to have the mic is we certainly hope that the integrity of our teaching profession is not compromised. Right, I think that's extremely important. We can't just, like anybody can teach, and 1 year we'll do it, or 2, because then what are we saying about the students that we're teaching? And what about teachers who have been in the profession for 30 years and it's a vocation? So I certainly hope that if we do have the opportunity, that we can continue to work collaboratively, but to share these very important messages. Because Trustee Mutala is exactly right. Yes, we're working through it, but the profession is one that is to be valued. It's the future of our province and the future of our world, and we certainly want to know that we, that integrity isn't compromised. So just a comment, but thank you very much. And I don't see anyone else in queue, so I will turn it back to you, Vice Chair Tuchansky, should you wish to close your motion at this time.
No, thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. And so thank you once again. We will call the vote. Thank you. As all trustees have voted and are in favor, we'll note for the record that the motion is carried. And once again, to thank all of you, both you, Superintendent Kennard, Chief Superintendent Anderson, of course, and of course, Manager Jones, and your entire team. If you could please share the applause of the Board of Trustees for the important work that you do. And we look forward to hearing more on your end. Thank you so much. And so we will now move on to, next on the agenda is 3.2, Integrated Health and Wellbeing Framework Update, the Companion Guide. And we'll turn it back over to you, Chief Superintendent Anderson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So as we keep hearing about classroom complexity, we know mental health and well-being have become foundational conditions for student learning, staff sustainability, and safe school communities. Across ECSD, our schools are responding to sustained increases in complexity, heightened mental health needs, and growing reliance on schools as a primary access point for supports. So today, Superintendent Peterson and Manager Antonella Malella will share more about our system-wide approach to support our student and staff well-being.
Thank you, Chief Superintendent Anderson, Madam Chair and Trustees. I'd like to begin today by grounding our discussion in the reality that well-being and learning are truly inseparable. The update before you shows how this framework is one of the pillars of the learning condition that is centered on well-being and Catholic spiritual formation. In its second year, the framework is being implemented across the division through a commitment from our leaders, teachers, wellness champions, and a strong continuum of supports. The framework defines our professional learning and enhances our partnerships with health and community agencies. This work is not about adding another initiative. It is about creating the conditions for optimal learning to thrive in a safe and caring environment that fosters respect and responsible behavior for all students. As a Catholic school division, this work reflects our commitment to the dignity and flourishing of every person entrusted to our care. The Integrated Health and Wellbeing Framework helps ensure that this commitment is intentional, aligned, and sustainable. At this time, I welcome Director of Inclusive Education, Antonella Malella, to share our update with the board. I think it's just us. You can try. One moment.
I love it when IT is in the room. Even when we're in the board office, like we think, are they around the corner? We sure hope so. Oh, there we go.
Okay. Thank you, Superintendent Peterson. Good afternoon, Madam Chair and Trustees. This presentation today provides a comprehensive update on the implementation of Edmonton Catholic School Division's Integrated Health and Wellbeing Framework. It focuses on system-wide progress and the impact on students, staff, and optimal learning conditions. The framework represents a shift from isolated wellness initiatives to a coordinated, sustainable system that embeds well-being as a foundational condition for learning. Today, I will highlight key areas of progress, including division-wide coherence, student leadership, social and emotional learning, access to mental health supports, and staff well-being and safety. At Edmonton Catholic Schools, our approach to mental health and well-being is fundamentally shaped by our Catholic faith. This framework is not imported from outside our identity. It flows directly from who we understand the human person to be. Catholic teaching affirms that every person is created in the image and likeness of God, possessing inherent dignity that must be honored in all circumstances. This belief forms the moral foundation of our integrated health and well-being framework and shapes how we respond to mental health needs across the division. From this perspective, mental health is not treated as a deficit to being managed, but as an aspect of the whole person: body, mind, heart, and spirit. Our framework reflects the Catholic understanding that health and well-being are integrated and relational, grounded in our relationship with God, with one another, and with creation. The principles on this slide shape how we design supports, how we create learning environments, and how we respond when mental health needs surface in our schools. Our Catholic faith also grounds this framework in hope. Hope is not passive optimism, but a belief that healing, growth, and flourishing are possible even amid complexity. This faith-informed hope guides our commitment to early intervention, prevention, and sustained care. In this way, Catholic faith does not sit alongside our mental health framework. It forms it's our foundation, ensuring that our work in well-being is coherent, compassionate, and aligned with our mission as a Catholic school division. The Integrated Health and Wellbeing Framework was released in April of last year with a 3-year plan to support well-being for staff and students. The plan outlines support for all students and staff with an emphasis on building resilience. The responsibility is shared amongst all division staff, where every person can thrive in mind, body, and spirit. The framework is a representation of a multi-department collaboration. The working group comprised of representatives from learning services, leadership services, religious education, and human resources, as well as Indigenous learning services. Through this collaborative work, 3 priorities to support well-being were determined: building authentic relationships with an adult and peer, getting sufficient sleep, and asking for mental health support without feeling stigmatized. To address these priorities, the working group had implemented a multi-tiered approach to promote student mental health and well-being. How have we done this? 1, our messaging and awareness. We have delivered school-wide posters and campaigns. We have distributed and demonstrated mental health awareness initiatives, including Student Wellness Week and National Sleep Awareness Day, professional development sessions to build understanding among staff. Number 2, education and leadership. Student education was done through symposiums, wellness champions leading mental health promotion and prevention efforts. Again, professional development for school leaders, educators, and support staff. Walk-around tools for school leaders to monitor and support wellness practices. Targeted support as well was important. Integration of social-emotional learning in every classroom using the CASTLE framework. Promotion of student mental health literacy, and presentations at staff meetings and teacher walk-around tools for ongoing engagement. And finally, individualized support. It's the access to mental health specialists and community partners. Supports addressing sleep, neurodivergence, and relationship building. An emphasis on fostering connection and belonging for all students. Edmonton Catholic Schools Division goal is to ensure timely, culturally responsive, and evidence-based mental health supports for every student and every staff member. This aligns with this student competency centered on character and wellness in our optimal learning framework. We recognize that mental health, just like physical health, is foundational to learning and overall well-being. To support student mental health challenges, every school in the division has access to a mental health specialist, either as a resident in the school, through the mobile team who supports several schools, or through our crisis support team and community partners. Each school also identifies an educator to serve as a wellness champion, who is the lead for supporting the school with health promotion and prevention efforts, and are closely connected with our inclusive, phys ed, and wellness consultants. Our Integrated Health and Wellbeing Framework is accessible on ECSD's public-facing website, as well as resources for families navigating community supports. Research and practice consistently show that student and staff well-being are interconnected and cannot be addressed in isolation. When staff feel supported, equipped, and well, they are better able to create responsive, inclusive learning environments for students. Likewise, when students' social, emotional, and mental health needs are proactively supported, classrooms become calmer and more predictable, directly reducing pressures on staff. Our collaborative team-based approach recognizes this relationship by supporting the adults and students and creating positive ripple effects across learning, teacher, and overall school culture. The system impact of our focus on inclusive education, well-being, and sustainable learning conditions is represented here. Our work supports healthier, more regulated students, particularly those with complex needs, improving engagement and readiness to learn. Schools experience safer, more supportive learning environments through proactive, prevention-focused supports and timely access to expertise. Wellness is increasingly considered in how learning spaces are designed and used, supporting accessibility, dignity, and inclusion. Spaces such as our school chapels provide a space where students connect faith and well-being. Staff report greater confidence as responsibility is shared and support is more coordinated. Implementation of the framework is active in all of our schools and departments. Every school now has a wellness champion who acts as that connector between students, staff, leadership, and divisional supports. Coordinated professional learning and leadership structures are in place, and partnerships with health and community systems have been strengthened. Key areas of progress include division-wide coherence, increased student voice and leadership, systematic implementation of social emotional learning, access to school-based mental health supports, and enhanced focus on staff well-being, psychological health and safety. These actions collectively demonstrate a deliberate shift toward a sustainable, integrated system that supports the dignity, safety, and confidence in both our students and staff. The framework strengthens a safe and caring environment that fosters respect and responsible behavior through division-wide use of school climate tools and walk-around tools for our leaders and teachers. Leadership practices are focused on improving the school experience for both students and staff with increased access to well-being resources and improved consistency and monitoring conditions for learning. We are appreciative of Alberta Education and Childcare's commitment to supporting mental health access in schools through the Mental Health Grant. Every school has access to a mental health specialist to support their students. These specialists have masters in counseling therapy and/or psychology. Our family school liaison workers, who can also support this work, have a degree in social work, and some have an added extension in mental health. Our team consists of both ECSD mental health staff, as well as a continuation of our strong partnership with Alberta Health Services mental health therapists. Access to these highly trained and specialized staff ensures that our students can receive the support they need in a timely fashion. When we see student referrals, it indicates that we are successful in building cultures of trust and reducing stigma related to mental health. The framework integrates universal, targeted, and intensive supports, ensuring a continuum of services are available. One provincial resource that schools and families can access is 211. 211 is an essential service that helps Albertans find the right resource or service for whatever issue they need help with at the right time. 211 is available 24/7 by phone, text, and chat. The service is free, confidential, and available in over 170 languages over the phone. The vision for 211 Alberta is to have a comprehensive information and referral system that is accessible for all Albertans. What does this mean for individuals and their family members, for friends and colleagues who are looking for help? 211 is the number they know and trust to provide effective, timely, and appropriate information and referrals to community resources. Next slide, please. Division-wide social emotional learning, professional learning has been implemented with SEL embedded into daily classroom practice and leadership structures. Student leadership symposiums elevate student voice, improve belonging, connection, peer support, and inform school wellness planning. Wellness champions and 344 student leaders participating in student symposiums this year illustrate our system-level engagement. These actions support promoting inclusive learning environments and student engagement, positioning students as active contributors to well-being. Staff well-being and psychological health and safety are a priority through the implementation of the Working Mind for staff and leaders. This training strengthens staff confidence and ability to identify wellness concerns within their peer group. Significant increases in EFAP registration signal improved awareness and trust in this support. Well-being is positioned as a leadership responsibility with targeted training and consultation provided to managers, supervisors, and school teams. This ensures all staff have access to appropriate professional learning and/or training in identifying early signals and include reduced stigma, earlier help seeking, and increased leadership confidence supporting staff and well-being. The second phase of the Integrated Wellbeing Framework was to develop a companion guide to support schools in their implementation. Within the companion guide, schools worked through these three components: beginning your school's journey, resources, and drafting an action plan. In the context of students and staff, schools deeply understand their school's wellness journey, but examining and reflecting on what is already working in our school community, whose voices are present in our planning, and whose voices may be missing. How do our everyday practices contribute to well-being? How do our everyday routines contribute to well-being? How do our everyday relationships contribute to well-being? And how do we allow for movement within our team so that there's always a consistent core group and members that are not overwhelmed? Staff use these reflections to guide their planning, prioritize their actions that feel achievable, and build a common understanding of what well-being looks like in their unique school setting. This year, thank you. This year, the working group has been focusing on developing a menu of actions that is organized across 4 interconnected areas of well-being: spiritual, social and emotional, physical and environmental well-being. It provides examples of actions schools may consider based on their local context, needs, and readiness. The intent is to support professional judgment and school-level decision-making while maintaining alignment with our division's integrated health and well-being framework and Catholic identity. The appendix shown includes practical, school-based examples for both students and staff, reinforcing that well-being is a shared responsibility and that supporting adults is essential to supporting students. Within the companion guide, our working group has provided linked resources to support schools in the implementation of their school wellness plan, as well as well laid out template to guide and inform key components for a well throughout and achievable plan. This would be represented on the next slide. In closing, this work reflects our beliefs that well-being is foundational to learning and teaching. By providing schools with a flexible menu of actions, we support thoughtful, context-responsive decisions that strengthen both student and staff well-being. When schools are supported by strong leadership and system alignment, these actions create sustainable learning conditions where students can thrive and staff feel supported in their vocation. Grounded in our Catholic faith, this work reflects our call to honor the dignity of every person and to care for one another as a community, ensuring our schools remain places of hope, compassion, and flourishing for all. I will now turn it back to Chief Superintendent Anderson for the recommendation.
Thank you very much, Director Malala. And just talking about that collaborative team approach to provide timely and responsive supports for staff and students. We know that their well-being is really interconnected, as you mentioned. And so our recommendation is that the Board of Trustees determines that the following quality indicators have been met as per Board Policy 12 Appendix B relative to the current evaluation period. Quality Indicator 1.1, 1.2, 3.1, 3.2, 5.5, and 5.6.
Thank you very much, Chief Superintendent Anderson, and of course, Superintendent Peterson, Director Molella, and the entire team. This is an exceptional report and update. You're so right. In simple terms, if students aren't well, they can't learn. And if teachers aren't well, they can't teach. And so that being said, this clear and very thoughtful overview makes us proud that Edmonton Catholic Schools is a champion, and I say that in all sincerity, a champion in this work, and recognizes that learning and well-being rooted in faith are relational. Now, one simply, as you said in your presentation, does not exist without the other. But what was really noticeable here today is that your presentation, along with the other two that we've heard this afternoon, and I'm just surmising that the other two will follow suit, is that there is a strong emphasis on the permeation of our faith that is connected. And I just want to applaud you and your team for doing that. We're confident that this work is being done, but the intentionality of what is happening in your departments and in our schools needs to be applauded. And there has been an intentional shift in this regard, not about the faith, because that's always been there, but the intentional shift of the agenda item that you're bringing forward today toward a cohesive system-wide approach to mental health and well-being, again, is to be applauded. It's that continued focus of supporting students and staff and safe faith learning environment. The progress outlined in your presentation here today and in the report reflects a strong commitment to responsive and sustainable practice, and we commend each and every one of you for championing this important work. And you've said this several times in your presentation, that speaks to our gospel values and the dignity and well-being of all. And as this recommendation requires a motion, I'll turn it to our Vice Chair, who's in queue, to please make this motion.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that the Board of Trustees determines that the following quality indicators have been met as per Board Policy 12 Appendix B relative to the current evaluation period. Quality Indicator 1.1, 1.2, 3.1, 3.2, 5.5, and 5.6.
Thank you very much. Vice Chair Tuchansky, do you wish to speak to your motion?
I do, thank you. Thank you to you and your team for this unbelievable report. When we heard it before, I was amazed and could hardly wait for it to come to public, of course, but then listening to it again, it feels like I literally missed the entire first report because it felt like a whole new report for me. So it is truly remarkable. And of course, what we're seeing across our division is a change in the complexity of student needs, the pressure on staff, and the role our schools play in supporting children and families. And in that response, you've not stood still. You have adapted, you've learned, and you've led. The development and implementation of this is a powerful example of the leadership at Edmonton Catholic Schools. It's not about a single initiative or program. It's about creating a coherent, system-wide approach that brings together our Catholic identity, instructional leadership, student support, staff well-being, and our responsibility to ensure a caring learning environment. And it is deeply rooted in our mission to support the whole child. And what is most impressive is that this work is happening in classrooms. It's happening in hallways, and it's happening in relationships. Sometimes it's slow, sometimes it's fast, but it's always happening. We are seeing social emotional learning become part of daily practice, not an add-on. We're seeing increased access to mental health supports for students and families. And importantly, we are seeing a growing focus on staff well-being and safety, because we know that when our staff are supported, our students thrive. There's also so many thoughtful structures in place to support this work, from your wellness champions in every school, to coordinated professional learning, to stronger connections within community partners. These are the kind of systems that create consistency, build capacity, and ensure that no one is carrying this work alone. And while we're proud of our progress, we also recognize the reality that our schools have become a primary access point for mental health support. Families are turning to us, often because we're the most accessible and trusted place for help. That is both a responsibility and a privilege, and our staff meet that responsibility with compassion, professionalism, and incredible care. To every staff member, every school leader, and every team who has contributed to this work, thank you. This is not easy work. It requires a heart, it requires resilience, and it requires a deep commitment to the well-being of others. And yet, across the division, we see that commitment every single day. This framework and the progress within it is something to be very, very proud of. It reflects who we are as a Catholic division, one that sees the dignity in every person and works intentionally to ensure that every student and every staff member feels supported and cared for and give them the opportunity to flourish. Congratulations again, and thank you for the meaningful, important work you continue to do for us.
Thank you very much, Vice Chair Tuchansky. And so at this time, I'll open the queue for any questions and or comments to the rest of the board. And I do recognize Trustee Pellick in queue. Go ahead, please, Trustee Pellick.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. And I just have, I can echo what Trustee Tuchansky says. I just have a couple of questions. You had mentioned that there's a wellness champion in every school. And I'm just wondering, is that, if we could compare that to like a learning coach, is that just a certain amount allotted time during the day? Is that like a full-time position for that school? If you could just sort of clarify that for me, please.
Yeah, absolutely. So HR and Learning Services came together, and this would probably be about 3 or 4 years ago, where we had a, what did we call them? It was a leader champion, plus HR had someone else. So what we did is we created a one-person wellness champion position. It is not the learning coach. This position was rolled out in September. Actually, it was in last May, where we sent a survey out to our principals, listing what the characteristics of this wellness champion is. There's always someone in the building who has an interest in mental health. And so we really wanted it to be a teacher, so that the information that we were delivering to our wellness champions would then be shared at Thursday staff meetings with the rest of the staff, but as well with the principal, so that this was going to be more of a coherent role in the school. And so with all the different departments that were working together on this integrated wellness plan, we would then be providing professional development to our wellness champions. So there's no FTE allotted to them. We have wellness champion meetings. We've had 5 so far this year. Some have been in person, some have been online, and it is typically an afternoon or an after-school session where two of the inclusive consultants, actually our phys ed curriculum consultant and our inclusive consultant, provide the wellness champions with a lot of professional development and shared resources to bring back to their school.
And so if I may, Madam Chair.
Please, go ahead.
And so the wellness champion just shares the information with the staff to sort of support them.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. And has brought them through that integrated wellness framework, has shared the menu of actions, has shared the school companion guide. If there's any resources that are required from a teacher, they go to the wellness champion to gather those resources.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. If I may.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And so also, there was also mentioned that AHS has some mental health professionals in our schools, and some do not. And I'm just wondering what the difference is between the two. And then just to follow up to that as well, if you could just sort of give a bit of a brief explanation on the time frame for the schools that do not have somebody from AHS. How long does it take for them to access that specific help as well?
Sure, Madam Chair, through to Trustee Pellick. Thank you for your question. So the credentials of all of our mental health therapists, whether they're Recovery Alberta mental health staff or ECSD mental health staff, is a master's in counseling therapy, clinical social work, occupational therapy, psychology. So those are the broad categories that they would have masters in. Doesn't differ whether they're from our division, whether we've hired them internally, or whether they're from Recovery Alberta. Those credentials would be consistent across. To your second question, the wait times. So for outside agencies, we don't necessarily have that information, as you can imagine. But from a division perspective, we almost always are able to support a student in crisis on the very same day that awareness comes to us, and with a follow-up session and referral to mental health supports, either within our division or outside of our division. This is primarily through the support of our school risk team. So that is our mobile team that is able to not necessarily be tied to a school, but is able to go out in emergent needs. And if the team member is occupied in another crisis situation, then we need to advise the school to call the crisis line. Okay. Which is, that is indicated on our school suicide risk management protocol that all schools have access to. We also leverage, as we've talked about many times, our strong support in our FSLW team. So they also can provide that tertiary or intermediary support in the event that we're waiting for one of our school risk team to get to the school. And if a student is in crisis, the support is immediate. However, when a non-crisis referral is made, there is some wait time for our mental health team to gain consent from parents and to determine the level of support that is needed. So crisis, immediate support. If it's non-crisis, then we need to get that parental consent, and that would be where the wait time comes in place.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you very much, Trustee Pellick. Thank you for sharing, Superintendent Peterson. Next in queue is Trustee Fiorello. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So in part of your presentation, you mentioned about complex needs and how that kind of impacts how we can support and the types of support we give. I was wondering about identifying those complex needs and our ability to do that, especially in the early years, so that perhaps some of these wellness concerns or mental health concerns aren't growing with the child, but they're addressed early on. So what is our ability or our capacity to perhaps support maybe the assessments or the working with the students kind of in those really early years to identify those complex needs?
Madam Chair, to Trustee Fiorello, thank you for the question. Absolutely. Early intervention is obviously key, and so we strive with our robust multidisciplinary teams that we certainly see in many of our elementary schools. They have that ability to identify and the capacity to direct in terms of what next steps need to be taken. And so, for example, again, I reference our family school liaison workers because many of our schools have that service within their buildings. But beyond that, we have our emotional behavioral specialists, also a very prevalent support within our elementary schools for sure, elementary, junior highs as well. And so they are able to identify, as you say, in collaboration with teachers, with instructional coaches, administrators, they come together, concerns are brought forward, we keep that flow of communication open. In the event that they need additional support, or maybe they have, want some further consultation, our managers of family school liaison workers, occupational therapy, behavior, speech language, and mental health also can be pulled in as that resource to support. And then to talk about what are the next steps, where would we best direct the family if we needed to direct them out external to Edmonton Catholic Schools. Oftentimes in those early years, it's really recommending that appointment with the pediatrician, because that is generally that individual that can look at a broader scope of supports that they have access to for referring. Okay?
If I may.
Yes, go ahead, please.
So in terms of, my understanding is that sometimes we're able to complete some of the assessments themselves kind of within the division. And in some cases, parents who have the means and the ability to will go out for private assessments. And so in terms of our students that perhaps don't have access to getting a private assessment for some of those assessments, are we able to assess, say we had a classroom and there was 10 students that were identified that probably needed a formal assessment. Do we have the ability to do that, or are they having to wait a number of years within our current capacity?
So when we talk about Chair Palazzo, when we talk about assessments, we have a variety of assessments, correct? So we have psychological assessments. We have, contract psychologists as partners that we contract out that come into the school and provide that psychological assessment in the moment at the school site. Now, of course, schools have their preferred person that they like to call in, but we have quite a list of external contractors that we can use to provide those psychological assessments. So depending on the urgency, very much like many paraprofessionals, wait times are long, so then we try and direct to some of these other external partners or contractors that we have to bring them in to do the assessment. And again, it's really professional judgment, triaging urgency of need within any school. So in the event that schools need learning services to support that connection, we certainly can provide that support through Antonella. Other assessments I'll just continue. Other assessments that do occur would be through our SLP team. So of course, we're a very unique division in that every kindergarten student receives kindergarten screening, speech language screening. That's not necessarily standard practice across our province. So we're very proud of that service. And within that, we then can provide early intervention in terms of if something comes up in a screen, then we schedule the next step, which would be a formalized speech language assessment, which would then drive that SLP support in the school. Now, we're talking about mental health today, but we understand that all of these things can be connected. And so if we can approach a child holistically, we believe that, and early, to your point, early intervention, we believe that we are able to mitigate risks later on.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I agree, because I mean, if a student doesn't understand why they're not understood, and then that kind of can lead to all some of the compounding mental health challenges. So I appreciate that. Thank you
Absolutely
very much.
right. Thank you. Thanks for the question.
Thank you very much, Trustee Fiorello. And so you referenced unique. I was going to say unique and extraordinary to be providing the service. So thank you for that. Trustee Engel, you're next in queue. Go ahead, please.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the report, and thank you for all the work you do. I just have a question about 211. Are parents aware of that? And is it abused? Like, I'm thinking of this morning, a parent called me and said, like, I'm just at wit's end. Do you have any services or anything I can do? I can't get my child out of the car. They will not move out of the car. And she was crying, and she said, I just found your number online. And I said, well, what you have to do is you have to contact your child's school. I'm not going to send that to SOS until, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm wondering, can I say call 211? Like, I'm just trying to understand the depth and breadth of 211, if it's abused, if everyone calls.
So, Madam Chair, through to Trustee Engel, any parent can reach 211. We do have posters across all of our schools that if you need to talk to someone, dial 211. And so our students know that, have seen these posters all across our schools. Now, is it something that our parents know about? Most likely, I'm not sure, right? But a question like what you said, I think that you giving her the recommendation of calling the school is the best thing, because we do have supports in that school to help that family get their child out of the car. We have emotional behavioral specialists. We have, a lot of multidisciplinary teams, and we have wonderful educational assistants across our classrooms in a lot of, I'm assuming this was elementary.
Junior high.
Junior high.
Yeah.
And as well, we have excellent MDT supports that can help with those things. They don't automatically need to call 211. We always say our schools are very well supported. Our students are very well supported. I mean, we of course share our 211 for students that may be in a situation or in a challenging situation when they're at home in the evening and something happens, they can't reach the school. Call 211. But of course, you can call 211 whenever.
No, and I thank you for that, because I was wondering, should have I said, but I'm not familiar enough. I don't know, I didn't know enough about it. And I said, contact your principal, call the school. And so, I mean, I'm sure that it's been resolved. The other thing I wanted to just say is yesterday I was at St. Benedict's School, where they suffered the tragedy of losing a young teacher. I could not believe what was going on at that school. There were, Father Julian and Sandra Tellerico were just amazing, setting up stations to counsel people throughout the gym. Like, it was something to behold, to watch it. Superintendent Fian was remarkable. He was a pillar of strength for that community. And there was a young gal there, and I just sort of wanted to offer my condolences, and I said, are you a teacher here? And she said, no, I work in learning support services. And she said, Terry is so good about stuff like this. She sent a number of us to be here today. And some of us are working on counseling, some of us are working with teachers, some of us are working with students, and some of us are just supervising and being, and it did really affect me emotionally, how they were all there for that vice principal and how grateful she was. And I just sort of stood there in awe, watching everything in action and the compliments that they gave to Dr. Fian, to Superintendent Anderson, to Superintendent Peterson. And it was a whole community coming together. And I just wanted to mention that I saw your work in action with the people out there, and the desks set up or the tables set up and the counseling happening at the school. And it was absolutely an amazing experience. So I want to thank you. It was great that I heard this report today, because yesterday I watched in action what those counselors were doing with the teachers and the students. So thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Engel. I also want to echo gratitude from the board. That said, I know that our response team is like, they go out. When we have something going on at our schools, they're there to support our staff and our students. And to you, to your credit, Chief Superintendent Anderson, thank you for supporting these teams and this work. They obviously have it down pat, because I've heard this time and time again from several of our staff indicating the compassion and that Edmonton Catholic is able to provide our school communities, especially in times of crisis. So thank you for that. That being said, also thank you to the trustees and the team for the excellent questions and responses that were provided here today. And I'll turn it back to you, Vice Chair Tuchansky, should you wish to close your motion at this time.
No, thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. So at this time, we will proceed to call the vote. Thank you. As all trustees have voted and are in favor, we'll note for the record that the motion is carried. Thank you once again to the both of you, and please share our accolades to the team for your commitment to supporting this critical work and caring for the dignity of all and ensuring that every student and staff is positioned for success. Thank you. And the next item on the agenda is 3.3, Facilities and Construction Projects Update, and we'll turn it back over to you, Chief Superintendent Anderson.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. As you know, Facility Services is responsible for the development, operation, and maintenance of all our physical assets that support the division's learning environments. Facility Services ensures that every school is safe, functional, inclusive, and sustainable, and reflects the division's Catholic values and commitment to student success. Through careful stewardship, we manage the full life cycle of ECSD facilities, from concept to construction to maintenance and renewal, in alignment with Alberta education and Alberta infrastructure standards. So to share more today about Facilities Services work, we have Chief Facilities and Technology Officer Peter Firmakis, who will provide further details.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief Superintendent Anderson. Good afternoon, everyone. I am pleased to present you today the Facility Services Construction Projects Report for Edmonton Catholic Schools. Should it not be on the board? Technology problems. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's start. Okay, so Facility Services is responsible for the development, operation, and maintenance of all physical assets that support the division's learning environments. We ensure that every school is safe, functional, inclusive, and sustainable space that reflects the division's Catholic values and commitments to student success. Through careful stewardship, we manage the full life cycle of ECSD facilities, from concept and construction to maintenance and renewal, in alignment with Alberta education and Alberta infrastructure standards. The report and presentation will focus on the facility department's scope of work and how Facility Services ensures that it meets quality indicators QI 8.2. And the report topics include budget envelope, new school budget, capital projects, modular classroom programs, collegiate programs, operational efficiencies, maintenance operations, electronic services, financial operations, and printing services. Sorry. Okay. So starting with a high-level financial budget envelope of our department, we see that we have operation and maintenance funding for 25-26, a budget of 44.07 million, which is supplemented by cross-subsidy of 2.7, which makes it up to 46.8 million approximately. Infrastructure maintenance renewal, also known as IMR, 25-26 at 5.8 million. And capital maintenance and renewal, also known as CMR, for 25-26 at 7.4 million. Moving on to our construction projects and new builds, we have 7 schools in various stages of construction, some of which are even recently completed. It's St. Carlos Acutis High School, St. Nicholas at Rundle Heights, St. Sophia in Kavanaugh, Our Lady of Hope in Cristalina Nera, St. Michael of Archangel at Hayes Ridge, St. Genevieve at Laurel, and St. Patrick at River's Edge. We have another 6 schools approved for planning, but just a couple of days ago, we were made aware that the high schools in the Meadows and Lewis Farms are moving into design, so we've been invited to a kickoff design meeting next week, which is really good news. As you see, everything is dynamic and everything is moving fast. So the total projected capital plan is at $876.2 million. Moving on to the Modular Classroom Program, also known as the MCP. Alberta Infrastructure has funded us for the 25-26 Phase 2, 3 new units, which with a budget of $921,000. 26-27 MCP program, 35 new units with a budget of $9.9 million. And 26-27 MCP program, we have a special relocation from Warrenville, 12 units, budgeted to be announced, estimated to be around $5 million. You may also see a table in the report for detailed project updates and for new school builds and modular classrooms. The collegiate programs has received lots of attention lately, and we are happy to be part of establishing such programs in our schools. In collaboration with Learning Services, Facility Services is actively planning and designing the projects below, which will be required to launch the collegiate programming in our schools. These collegiate projects are estimated to cost approximately $1.8 to $2.2 million. These projects are subject to grant approvals. So the projects are listed below. At Archbishop O'Leary, we have 2 projects going, automotive service technician apprenticeship and a hairstylist barber apprenticeship. At Holy Trinity, we have a hairstylist barbership apprenticeship being designed. And at St. Joseph, a cabinet maker apprenticeship. Application, it's noted that application was submitted on January 30th. With cross-collaboration of some of our departments, such as Learning Services, Facilities, and Planning. Designs are being finalized, and we anticipate in tendering these projects in the next few weeks. Moving on to operational efficiencies. Within our department, we have identified and are working on the following. We're developing a new ticket request system across departments, which replaces and expands the current WRSS ticket system. We have developed a building surge maintenance program that reduces work orders regardless of priority level. This method brings a large number of resources such as people, materials, vehicles, and tools to one school. This method achieves high operational output, minimizes service requests, promotes team building, and minimizes travel time. So far, we have completed a building surge at St. Joseph High School and St. Francis Xavier. Our next school will be Our Lady of Mount Carmel. By the end of the school year, we plan to complete 4 to 6 more building search programs across our division. For the modular program, the MCP, pre-design and permits we've done advanced planning with permitting department of the city. We have produced and procured consulting services in anticipation of the MCP announcement, so we're ahead of the game. We have engaged the city's permitting and forestry departments to expedite the permitting application process and make sure that we don't have any problems with any forestry department related issues. We are also in the process of replacing some internal purchasing processes, such as the field level hazard assessment with online and electronic systems to increase efficiencies and minimize areas of errors and injuries. Moving on to our internal teams. The maintenance services team primarily focuses on base building infrastructure required upgrades or repair, in addition to maintenance improvement projects and infrastructure maintenance renewal IMR projects and capital maintenance renewal CMR projects. The maintenance services team undertakes critical operations maintenance work, including painting of schools, interior and exterior, and annual gym flooring refinishes. The team also works to deliver other more complex projects, including lighting upgrades, mechanical systems work, boilers, replacements and upgrades, interior space upgrades, barrier-free upgrades, window replacements, roof repairs and replacements, sidewalks and exterior concrete. The maintenance service team also coordinates and completes all school-to-pay STP projects, which typically focuses on school-initiated program-driven school improvements. In the first half of 25-26, the maintenance department has responded to more than 5,200 requests for maintenance repairs on schools and improvement, which is very important. There it is. Oh. Sorry about the technology there. Yeah. So yeah, they've responded to 5,200 maintenance requests, which is a lot of volume. Moving on to our next topic of discussion, our electronic services team primarily focuses on building base building infrastructure, which is not covered under warranty or maintenance services. In addition to infrastructure maintenance, IMR and CMR projects, electronic services plays a significant role in the annual modular classroom program, as well as major modernization and new school construction projects. Electronic services supports operation and maintenance O&M projects, which fall under the areas of focus, which are audio-video systems, fob access systems, communication systems, and safety access systems. As with the maintenance services, electronics team continues to cover the labor portion of approved school-to-pay projects. In the first half of 25-26, the electronics department has responded to more than 2,800 requests for equipment and repairs in our schools. Regarding new school construction projects, we are participating currently in the design phases as well as drawing specifications reviews for new school design. So they're actively in that process, making sure that we minimize any change orders, checking everything, all the boxes, everything that we need. Moving on to more financial information again. We'd like to highlight some of our current budgets for IMR and CMR projects. In the first half of fiscal year 25-26, 3.6 million was expensed on IMR and CMR projects. 48 CMR IMR projects were completed in the first half of the year, with an additional 109 in progress or not started projects remaining. These outstanding planned projects, including 48 electrical, 17 mechanical, 21 interior, 16 envelope, 7 site. Look at the 2026-2027 financial budget. We're looking at CMR at 7.8 million. In the new school year 2026-2027, school divisions are no longer receiving IMR specific funding. Therefore, we do have approximately 700,000 available for us for future projects. In 2026-2027, the O&M now will be approximately 50.1 million due to an O&M rate increase of 12% and an increase in enrollment and additional spaces that are going to be added to our schools. What have we spent so far? Facility Services financial position in the first half of the fiscal 25-26 year, at the midpoint of this year, financial operation is on target to meet budget expectations. In our general account, Facility Services has expended 51% of budget allocation, which is right on target. The warehouse Facility Services has spent 57% of its original allocations, and our printing department has achieved 45% of their revenue projections. One of our teams within our department that frequently goes unnoticed is our printing services department team. The printing services team primarily focus is supporting our schools and division offices with world-class printing services such as business cards, school banners, books, workbooks, any printing materials imaginable that the schools required are ordered within our division through our printing services. All printing services are school-to-pay projects. In the first half of 25-26, The printing team has responded to thousands of requests, 18,200 printing requests so far this year. Our printing services are a net zero operation, and it is managed so that its revenues offsets its operational expenses. Finally, at Facility Services, we are dedicated to creating and maintaining welcoming, faith-filled environments where students and staff and communities can thrive. Through responsible stewardship and innovation, the Facilities Department supports the Division's mission to provide a Catholic education that inspires students to learn fully and serve others. At this point, I would like to thank my team, from our Director, Amy Nunes, all the way to our maintenance and custodial workers. We have a large department, scope of work, and responsibilities. I thank them for their hard work, dedication to the division, and for making everything mentioned in this report, in this presentation, a possibility, a reality for our students, staff, and the Edmonton community. I could not do that without them. This concludes my presentation, and I would like it to turn it back to Chief Superintendent Anderson to read the recommendations.
Thank you very much. Just listening to everything with new school builds in various stages, the addition of modular units, along with ensuring all our schools are safe, clean, and well-maintained learning environments. We applaud CFTO Peter Formikas and the entire Facility Services team for everything you do. And so our recommendation is that based on the evidence provided in the Facility Services Construction Projects Update Report 2026, the Board of Trustees determines that the following quality indicators have been met as per Board Policy 12, Appendix B, relative to the current evaluation period. Quality Indicator 8.2 ensures facility project budgets and construction schedules are followed, or timely variance reports are provided to the Board.
Thank you very much, Chief Superintendent Anderson, and of course to you. Now I have to remember your Chief Facilities and Technology Officer. I wish we had an acronym. I'm sure there's an acronym for that, but I like to say the whole thing. Formikas, to you and your entire team, and I want to applaud you for acknowledging them here today. I think that's extremely important, and I know that they would be extremely appreciative knowing that you've attributed much of this work to them, and we know that, but thank you for that. This is an informative and very outstanding report and presentation and a very comprehensive overview. And we want to thank you for this. And in your presentation and also of what we know of Facility Services, you play a critical role in supporting our schools. And the impressive work that is done does not go unnoticed. We've said that before today, but it's the truth. Kudos to you all to ensuring well-managed facilities. I know that was something that was discussed at the governance meeting, and they were extremely impressed that even students were able to see how well-managed schools were. Now, the dedication that all of you offer to creating those safe, welcoming, and sustainable environments reflects, and you said it again in your report, a commitment to our Catholic values and, of course, to our division. And we appreciate and value the departments, the team, stewardship, and leadership. Now, one of the things that I do have to say that while everything that you've provided here today, you ensure the alignment with provincial standards and quality indicators, one thing that the board was extremely impressed about was during our tour. So when the board came for the tour, we were truly impressed by the efficiencies of Facility Services and the magnitude. Like, it was overwhelming, honestly, and the effectiveness of operations that takes place there. It truly is. We were in awe. So I just wanted to make reference to that, even though we've shared this with you time and time again, but the fact that you continue to ensure the efficiencies and your operations work so effectively is kudos to our division and to each and every one of you. And this is a motion, and so this recommendation requires a motion. So I'll turn it over to Trustee Ingle, who's in queue, to please make this motion.
I move that based on the evidence provided in the Facility Service Construction Projects Update Report 2026, the Board of Trustees determines that the following quality indicators have been met as per Board Policy 12, Appendix B, relative to the current evaluation period. Quality Indicator 8.2.
Thank you very much. Do you wish to speak to your motion?
Yeah, I want to say thanks so much, Peter, for the great report. And I was just going to ask a question, if there's a simple way to sort of give us the picture. How did it affect your budget having no funding in IMR? I know there was a 12% increase in O&M, but how did that affect how you do business and how you built your own personal budget within facility services? Because it was a big change.
Madam Chair, through to Trustee Engel, it's a challenge. The moment I heard it, the wheels were in motion, trying to figure out what's going on. They're offsetting somewhat the IMR within the O&M budget. So we're going to have to navigate through that. It's the first year that this is happening, not just for our division, across the province. So all divisions, we're trying to figure things out. We will do the best we can with the tools that we have. I'm very confident that we'll be able still to contribute and support our schools.
And if there's ever anything we can do in terms of, better understanding what the result was of doing this, that we can communicate to the Minister of Infrastructure and through our lobbying efforts, that's great, because we saw one go 0, one go 12%. And so down the road, if there's anything we can do through Chief Superintendent Anderson and what is it, CFTSO, CFTSO? I'd like to add an A in there. Can I buy a vowel?
Trustee Engel, you
Anyway.
can call me whatever you want. It's okay.
Okay.
You're the boss.
I'm just trying to, Chair Plaza wanted, and I did too, so I'm trying to be creative here, but without a vowel, I can't do much. Anyway, so that was just a comment I was going to make, because, we really appreciate that you're doing it and working your best. I'm also excited about all the projects that are coming through, especially we're finally going to get a school in Lewis Farms. And so thank you. I have no further questions. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for your question. I think that is a really extremely important one, as it will help us advocate should it be necessary. Thank you so much. Next in queue is Trustee Fiorillo. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to start by acknowledging and appreciating your team's involvement. You briefly mentioned it, but I think it's really important in this spec review process and how critical that is in mitigating, like you said, change orders and the impact that that can have on both the time and the budget of a project. So I really appreciate hearing that your team is actively involved in that process. I do have one question. For maintenance, I'm just curious, what percentage of the maintenance that we do is preventative versus responsive?
Madam Chair, through to Trustee Fiorillo, unfortunately, a bigger percentage is reactive maintenance at this point. Through the building surges that I've been implementing, my hopes are, and I've seen it before in my other roles, the work orders will come down to the point that there will be more time for the same resources, the same people, same tools, same vehicles, same schools. There will be more time to start implementing sections of preventive maintenance. And we cannot do preventive maintenance across the board and full force. We will choose critical items such as HVAC, heating, ventilating, air conditioning. Take that portion. Let's master that one. Once we master that one, we're regulating our work orders. Let's go into the boilers. Let's do into the mechanical system. So there is a process. It's too early in the game right now, but I hope in the next 1 or 2 years, I will be in a happy position to tell you that we do have an official preventive maintenance program. We're working on that.
Terrific. That sounds good. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We look forward to you being in that happy position as well.
Yes.
Thank you very much. And so, Trustee Engel, I'll turn it back to you should you wish to close your motion at this time.
No, I just wanted to really thank Peter for the presentation, and I look forward to further updates on the planning stage of the schools that just got approved and the ground blessings coming up. It's an exciting time for Edmonton Catholic Schools, and thank you for being at the helm of such an important department and keeping us apprised of what's going on. Thank you, Peter, and Chief Superintendent Anderson.
Thank you very much, Trustee Engel. And so, seeing no one else in queue, then we will now call the vote. Thank you. As all trustees have voted and are in favor, we'll note for the record the motion is carried. And once again, thank you to you and, of course, for the ongoing commitment in supporting our division's learning and student success. Thank you.
Forgot to mention thank you to planning. They plan, we execute. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes. That's true. Thank you very much to our ed planning team as well. You make a good team. And so we will now move on. We will proceed to 3.4 on the agenda, ECSD Annual Survey 2025-2026. And over to you, Chief Superintendent Anderson.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. So ECSD Annual Survey ran from January 5th to January 23rd, 2026 to engage students, parents, guardians, and certificated teachers with respect to the quality of Catholic education provided. So today we have Superintendent Fian, who will share the survey results and identify some of the trends that we can glean from this data. So I will turn it over to Superintendent Fian.
Thank you very much, Chief Superintendent Anderson. Trustees, thank you for the opportunity to share this with you today. The Edmonton Catholic School Division's Annual Survey Results Report 2025-26 provides division results derived from our annual survey for each of the respondent groups of students, parents, guardians, and teachers. The division results will be available on the Division Assurance Dashboard located on the Division Public website. In addition to the division results, individual school reports will also be available to each school principal. In school reports are used by school staff and school councils in preparing and adjusting their school plans for continuous growth. School results will also be put available on the school assurance dashboards located on the school's public websites. And before we begin, a very special thank you to Acting Manager Caitlin Harris, who joins us here today, as well as their team, Jessica Ray Parkins and Lisa Motley, for the extensive work they do in compiling and helping digest these results. The Edmonton Catholic School Division conducted the ECSD annual survey from January 5th to January 23rd, 2026 to engage students, parents and guardians, and certificated teachers with respect to the quality of education, Catholic education provided. The survey items were developed during the 23-24 school year to reflect the Alberta Education and Childcare Assurance Framework, as well as the Division Plan for Continuous Growth 2023 to 2026. The following groups were surveyed: students in grades 4 to 6, 7 to 9, 10 to 12, as well as parents and guardians of all students and certificated teachers. Each survey consisted of a series of statements to which survey participants were asked to indicate their level of agreement. As indicated in the report, the upper scale values of strongly agree and agree, as well as the lower scale values of strongly disagree and disagree were combined. The results reflect a 2-point scale of agreement or disagreement, and this combination provides global information that's more comparable across the 5 survey groups, as well as comparable to Alberta Education and Childcare's survey methodology. The survey items also were grouped into themes using agreement percentages. As stated, this report provides the division results for the 2025-2026 survey administration. However, these results should be interpreted with caution, as the following factors may have influenced the participation and responses. The breakdown of contract negotiations between teachers and the Government of Alberta led to a province-wide labour disruption that began on October 6, 2025. Classes were cancelled for over 700,000 students across more than 2,000 schools over the province. The passage of Bill 2 and the resulting labour disruption caused significant disruption across the education system, affecting student learning experiences, family stability, and teacher well-being. The scope and duration of these impacts likely influenced both the survey results and response rates across student, parent, guardian, and teacher groups. Due to the factors stated above, caution should be used when comparing results across time. And here we will start with the highlights. You'll notice that in the student responses, foundational knowledge about First Nation, Métis, and Inuit persons, inclusive, caring, learning environments, and Catholic identity are all in their top 3 highest levels of agreement. The top three for parents and guardians are the foundational knowledge about First Nation, Métis, and Inuit, Catholic identity, and parent and guardian engagement. And then finally, the top three highlights there for our teachers is Catholic identity, teaching and learning practices, as well as parent and guardian engagement. And here, you'll notice our overall top performing themes. You can see strong approvals from our teacher and parent and guardian groups in the areas of Catholic identity, foundational knowledge of First Nation, Métis, and Inuit peoples, inclusive and caring learning environments, student growth and wellness, as they are all appearing with students agreeing at the top performing theme. With the students, the top performing theme is, again, our foundational knowledge of First Nation, Métis, and Inuit people. In this section, the survey items are organized by themes using the dichotomous percentages, and dichotomous results reflect an overall agreement or disagreement. At the end of each theme, you see in front of you here that a chart is provided for students, grades 4 to 12 combined, parents and guardians, and certificated teachers. This theme in front of you focuses on the Catholic identity and the extent to which faith is intentionally lived, taught, and experienced across our schools. Overall, the results present a very strong and consistent picture of Catholic identity being visible and active, particularly in core practices such as prayer, religious celebrations, and faith-based learning environments. Across all student grade groupings, agreement is exceptionally high that prayer and religious celebrations are a regular part of school life, with results remaining in the mid to high 90% range from elementary through to high school. Students across grades also strongly agree that their schools teach them about the Catholic faith, showing a shared experience of faith formation as a foundational aspect of schooling. Parents and guardians closely mirror these perspectives, with roughly 97 to 98% affirming that schools are grounded in the Catholic faith, provide regular opportunities for prayer, and hold religious celebrations. Certificated teachers show the highest levels of agreement overall, consistently near 99%, reinforcing a strong internal alignment with the centrality of faith as a daily school practice. One area where perspectives begin to slightly diverge is in how Catholic values are integrated across subject areas and through social justice activities. This contrasts with parents and teachers whose agreement in these same areas remains above 93% for teachers and 95%. These differences suggest that while foundational faith practices are clearly experienced and valued by all groups, older students may perceive fewer explicit connections between Catholic values and everyday learning and engagement activities, and it is an area of continued focus. These results do strongly affirm Catholic identity is clear strength of the school division, and also point towards opportunities to continue making faith connections more visible and meaningful for our students. This theme of wellness focuses on the student wellness and the extent to which schools provide opportunities to learn about physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. The results tell a positive story, with strong agreement across all respondent groups that wellness is intentionally addressed in schools. Among students, agreement is highest around physical wellness, with more than 90% across all grade levels indicating their schools provide opportunities to learn in this area. Mental and spiritual wellness are also viewed positively, particularly by younger students, where agreement is around 90% for grades 4 to 6. While agreement remains solid as the students move into 7 to 9 and 10 through 12, there is a slight decline, especially in the perceptions around mental and spiritual wellness. Parents and guardians report very strong confidence across all areas, with agreement consistently in the mid to high 90% range for physical, mental, and spiritual wellness, suggesting a strong sense of reassurance that schools are supporting the whole child. This theme reflects how welcoming, inclusive, and respectful school communities are, and how care for others and diversity are experienced across our school division. Overall, the results present a positive and affirming picture with strong agreement across all respondent groups that schools intentionally foster respect, belonging, and care. Across all grade levels, more than 90% of students agree that welcoming and including others is an expectation, that they are taught to respect people from different faiths, cultures, and backgrounds, and that they demonstrate genuine care for others. These strong perceptions are reinforced by parents and guardians with an agreement in the mid to high 90% range around inclusion, respect, and care. Certificated teachers align closely with these views, reporting similarly high agreement across all areas. While agreement remains positive overall, student perceptions around celebrations of diversity through events and activities are somewhat lower than the adult perspectives, particularly in the junior high range. The theme of foundational knowledge of First Nation, Métis, and Inuit culture, history, perspectives, and experiences deals with how intentionally this learning is embedded across schools. Overall, the results present a strong and encouraging picture across all the respondent groups. Students report high levels of agreement at every grade level, and that this learning is taking place inside of their schools, with agreement close to 97% in grades 4 to 6 and remaining above 94% in 7 to 9. While there is a modest decline amongst grade 10 to 12 students, agreement still remains high, just under 90%, indicating that the vast majority continue to recognize consistent learning opportunities in this area as they progress from grade 4 through to high school. Parents and guardians closely align with these perspectives, with roughly 97% agreeing that their child's school teaches First Nation, Métis, and Inuit culture, history, and perspectives, reinforcing confidence in the division's approach to this work. Certificated teachers report similarly strong agreement, with more than 97% affirming that this learning is embedded in their schools, and with an equally high percentage indicating that their schools are actively working to advance the truth and reconciliation calls to action within schools and within the broader community. This strongest alignment across all school groups lies in the shared recognition that this learning is consistent and meaningful part of the student's experience. This theme focuses on how well students are able to access help, guidance, and resources to support their learning and future planning. Overall, the results show a strong agreement across all groups that provide meaningful supports, with extracurricular opportunities standing out as a very clear strength. Close to or above 90% of students at all grade levels agree that their schools offer a variety of clubs, teams, and activities, and that view is strongly reinforced by parents and teachers. Students also report a positive access to staff for learning support, with agreement generally in the mid to high 80% range and increasing slightly by high school. A continued area of focus is particularly amongst our grade 9 students, which includes knowledge of course selection, career exploration, and future planning. By grades 10 through 12, agreement then rises noticeably, suggesting increased clarity and access as students move further into high school. Parents and teachers report consistently strong confidence in academic, social, emotional, and specialized supports, with agreement largely in the high 80s and low 90s. This next theme of student engagement, it relates to the extent to which students feel their voice matters and their choices are respected, and they have opportunities to shape their learning experience. Across all grade levels, most students agree that they can make choices about how they demonstrate their learning, and their opinions are respected and valued by school staff, with agreement generally in the low to mid 80% range, and highest among younger students. These perceptions are strongly reinforced by parents and guardians, with more than 90% agreeing that students have voice and choice in their learning. Certificated teachers report the highest levels of agreement overall, affirming that student voice is valued and embedded in the classroom practice. One area where student responses are somewhat lower is in the opportunities to share opinions about the school more broadly, particularly among the grades of 7 to 9. While adult perceptions in this area remain strong, these results suggest an opportunity to continue building and making visible formal and informal structures where students can see their input shaping school life. This has been identified as an area of focus on the new education plan as well. This theme focuses on student growth in literacy and numeracy, and the results point to a very strong, consistent story of learning across the system. Students at all grade levels report a high agreement that they are growing in reading, writing, and math, with agreement highest in the grades 4 to 6, and remaining solid throughout the junior high and high school timelines. Parents and guardians echo confidence, with about 95% agreeing that their children are growing and achieving in both literacy and numeracy. Teachers closely align with these perspectives, with agreement above 93% in both areas. And these results clearly affirm student growth as a strength across the school division and reflect a strong alignment between student experience, family confidence, and professional judgment. This next theme focuses on teaching and learning practices and how students experience instruction and feedback on their everyday learning. Students at every grade level report high agreement that teachers encourage them to try their best and provide clarity around expectations, which speaks to strong learning relationships and clear instructional practice. These strengths are especially pronounced in grades 4 to 6, where agreement across all areas sits above 88% and often in the mid-90s. As students move into junior and senior high, agreement remains positive, particularly around encouragement, relevance of learning, and understanding expectations. Parents and guardians consistently report very high confidence in teaching practices, with more than 90% agreeing across all measures, reinforcing a strong sense of trust in classroom instruction. Certificated teachers show a very high level of agreement across every era, reflecting strong professional alignment around effective teaching, meaningful feedback, and responsive learning design. The theme of parent and guardian engagement depicts the strength of partnerships between families and schools. The results, again, represent a very positive and consistent picture. Across all grade levels, a strong majority of students report that their parent and guardian asks them about their learning, with agreement maintaining close to 90%, even in the senior grades. Parents and guardians strongly reinforce this finding, with virtually all indicating that they have actively asked their child about their learning. Certificated teachers closely align with this perspective, reporting a very high agreement that schools encourage parent engagement and provide meaningful opportunities for parent and guardian voice. This result affirms parent and guardian engagement as a clear strength and a well-established part of division culture. Under the facilities theme, we focus on the quality and condition of school facilities and how safe and well-maintained they are experienced to be by students, family, and teachers. Across all student grade levels, a strong majority agree that their school buildings are safe and well-maintained, with agreement close to or above the high 80% range. Parents and guardians report the highest confidence, with more than 96% affirming that their child's school facility is safe and well cared for. Certificated teachers align closely with these perspectives, with over 90% agreement. And now we are very pleased to present the overall satisfaction rates according to the annual survey results for 25-26. As a reminder, students in grades 4 to 12, certificated teachers and parents and guardians of all students enrolled in Edmonton Catholic schools were invited to participate in this survey. This theme reflects the overall satisfaction of the quality of education across our Edmonton Catholic schools, and the results present a very strong and affirming picture. Across all grade levels, a clear majority of students report being satisfied with the education they receive, with agreement remaining consistently in the mid to high 80% range and highest among our elementary students. Parents and guardian satisfaction is especially strong, with more than 94% expressing confidence in the quality of education at their child's school, and certificated teachers report the highest levels of satisfaction overall, with more than 96% affirming the education their school provides. These results clearly affirm broad confidence in the division and a strong sense of shared satisfaction across students, families, and teachers. Thank you very much. And with that, I will turn it back to you, Chief Superintendent Anderson.
Thank you very much, Superintendent Fien and Acting Director Caitlin Harris, for all the work to pull this information together and identify trends. Just a side note, Superintendent Fien shared the results with our executive learning team this morning, and so we'll use the data that was shared to guide our conversations with our stewardship groups when we go do school visits. So that's happening in the coming weeks. And the data that's provided will then guide our schools, our school-based administration, to identify areas of focus as they're beginning to develop their education plan. So there's always room for that continuous improvement, and this data just provides some impact and measures that we identify as areas of growth. So with that, I will read the recommendation that based on the evidence provided in the ECSD Annual Survey Results Report 2025-26, the Board of Trustees determines that the following quality indicators have been met as per Board Policy 12, Appendix B, relative to the current evaluation period. Quality Indicator 1.1, 1.3, 2.1, 2.4, 3.1, 3.2, 8.1, 10.3, and 10.5.
Thank you very much, Chief Superintendent Anderson and Superintendent Fien, of course, and we have our Applied Research Supervisor, Harris, and of course the entire team for today's excellent presentation and for another extremely impressive and comprehensive report that confirms exactly what we want to hear, an outstanding level of overall satisfaction among families, staff, and students, families, students, and our teachers. This report is very telling. So for us as the board, the annual survey is an important measure of how well Edmonton Catholic Schools is serving its communities. These results reflect confidence across areas such as Catholic identity, teaching and learning, engagement, and student well-being. And the board, of course, values this feedback as part of our responsibility to listen, to be accountable, and to assure our educational partners that we are committed to continuous improvement across our division. We're grateful to our students, our families, and our staff for taking time to share their insights and experiences, and we look forward to these results and report as not only do they help inform what we're doing well, but of course where we can continue to improve. But it also highlights trust. And that's extremely important. It provides assurance and it provides confidence and reaffirms our commitment to excellence. And as this recommendation requires a motion, I'll turn it over to Vice Chair Tuchansky, who's in queue, to please make this motion.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that based on the evidence provided in the ECSD Annual Survey Results Report 2025-2026, the Board of Trustees determines that the following quality indicators have been met as per Board Policy 12, Appendix B, relative to the current evaluation period. Quality Indicator 1.1, 1.3, 2.1, 2.4, 3.1, 3.2, 8.1, 10.3, and 10.5.
Thank you. Do you wish to speak to your motion?
I do indeed. How cruel to leave the math and data guide to the end, right? Like we should tuck you in somewhere between like the excellence awards so that we're all like, woo! Because I will be honest, math is not my friend. But this kind of math and this kind of data tells a story, and it's an important story because even in a year that brought disruption, uncertainty, and real challenges, our school communities continued to show up. They showed resilience, they showed care, and they showed a deep commitment to our students. We cannot talk about the survey without acknowledging the context. The labor disruption this past fall impacted everyone. It impacted our students, families, and staff in a very real way. Learning was interrupted, routines were turned upside down, and there was a great deal of uncertainty for everybody involved. But when our students returned to the classrooms, they returned to spaces that were welcoming, caring, and grounded in faith. And of course, as we know, that doesn't just happen. That happens because of the incredible work of our staff, our teachers, our support staff, our school leaders, and our central teams, each who continue to meet students where they're at, responding to increasing complexity and ensuring every child feels supported and valued. And this survey isn't just numbers on a page. It reflects relationships, it reflects trust, and it reflects a division that is living out its mission every single day to inspire students to learn and to prepare them to live fully and to serve God and one another. So I'd like to thank our Chief Superintendent, our senior leadership team, and every other member who participated in this survey and getting it out, getting it back, and putting it on the website for our families to see. Each and every one of you make a difference in the lives of our students and our families. And it reminds us that even in challenging times, we continue to move forward with purpose, with faith, and with a deep commitment to excellence. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And so I will now open Q to the rest of the board, and I do recognize Trustee Ingle in Q. Go ahead, please.
Thank you. Superintendent Fian, you are a trooper. Everybody has been here for 3.5 hours, and then you have to get up and give us a stat report, but you did amazing. You kept smiling and going, so I just want to commend you for that first. And second, Caitlin, I don't know how many hours this must take for you to put together, but I really want to thank you because, as Chief Superintendent has said, these results will guide her work going forward to make us better and to make us stronger. So really, thank you. That was a labor of love and sweat. I just have one question. You probably answered it, Superintendent Fian, through your thing, but I probably missed it. Do you know what the percentage of people that completed the survey in each of the 3 categories was? Just something I always ask or make note of, but you might have covered that.
Yeah, no. Thank you very much, Madam Chair, through to Trustee Ingle. So for the parent and guardian survey, we had 25.7% when it comes to our response rates for parents and guardians. And we actually have a breakdown for our 4 to 6 responses, as well as our 7 to 9, 10 through 12. With 92.9% of our 4 to 6s have responded, 91.2% of our 7 to 9s, and then we have 70.4% of our 10 through 12 responses. In terms of our teacher responses, the percentage is 93.6%.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Those are outstanding percentages. And I mean, a lot of people will say, well, 1 out of 4. 1 out of 4 is great response. I mean, how many of you take the bill at the end of a really good meal where you've been served properly and say, I'm for sure going to fill this survey out? And then how many of you actually do? I mean, I'm just being brutally honest. That's a great number. And it's very representative of what's happening in the schools. So I really want to thank you for this report.
Thank you very much, Trustee Ingle. I love your sincerity. But you know what I love the most? Like, everything that you said was impactful. But you called it a labor of love and sweat. I thought, like, what a great, like, that was amazing. And she's absolutely right. So thank you. Thank you to all of you. Yeah, we are extremely appreciative. I'll remember that one. Thank you. So next in queue is Trustee Pellick. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. So thank you again for this report. And I just have a couple of questions similar to Trustee Ingle here. For the responses that you received, there's nothing indicating for 100 Voices to grade 3. And I'm just wondering if you tracked those surveys that you received.
Thank you very much, Chair Palazzo, through to Trustee Pellick. There is no responses from 100 Voices through to grade 3, as we only survey our students from grades 4 through to the grade 12.
Okay, because I think it said here that you sent that out to them? No? On page 2, surveys were administered to parents, guardians of all students currently enrolled in the divisions, 100 Voices through to grade 4 and 5.
Yes.
Sorry, to 4th and 5th year high school.
Yes, thank you for that clarification. My apologies, my response was in relation to student results and students that were ended up survey. But yes, the survey was indeed sent out to all parents. So that was sent out to over 50,000 parents.
And that was going to be my other questions, was exactly how many surveys were were sent out?
We sent out to parents and guardians for clarification.
Yes.
Thank you. There was 51,140 surveys were distributed to parents and guardians.
Okay. And typically from previous years, is the 25.7%, is that greater from previous years or less than?
Chair Palazzo through to Trustee Pellick. Yes, it's greater than. We have been increasing, and we're quite happy with the current result of parent responses.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Trustee Pellick.
Sorry, if I may just...
You know what, I'm just
I
going to go,
understand.
I'll open it up for round two, if that's okay. So Trustee Fiorello, we'll turn it to you next, and then if you could put yourself back in queue, Trustee Pellick, that would be appreciated.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So thank you so much for the report. Definitely lots of good news stories. I just wanted to highlight something because it aligns with something that I heard a lot at Student Voice. And so under the teaching and learning section, I think that there perhaps is a disconnect. And not that it's not happening, but I just really wanted to highlight that perhaps the way that we're doing it maybe needs to be looked at because, I mean, especially for grades 7 through 12, they definitely say their teachers encourage them to try their best, which is awesome. But it really drops off when it comes down to the approaches to meet learning needs, clear feedback, and learning how to use feedback. And that drops below 80% for all the 7 to 12, whereas with the teachers, that's all above 95%. So obviously they think that they're doing it, but maybe the way that they're doing it isn't connecting with the students, because that's something that I heard at Student Voice was kind of a lesson that I took, was that they're not sure how to use their feedback always. And so I just wanted to highlight that. And I'm sure that your team is going to be on it, but I just wanted to make sure that because those students are so wonderful coming to talk with us. And so when I saw that aligning with what was here, I just wanted to kind of bring that attention to that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Trustee Fiorello. Trustee Pellick, I don't see anyone else in queue, so I'm going to open up for round two. So if you want to kindly put yourself back into queue, then I'll call upon you once again for your next question. Oh, are you good? Okay, thank you very much. And seeing no one else in queue, I'll turn it back to you, Trustee Engel, should you wish to, I'm sorry, Vice Chair Jachansky. Yes, I can make sure here. But if you would like to close your motion at this time.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Very much.
No, okay, thank you very much.
Never mind. No, thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. So we will now proceed to call the vote. Thank you. As all trustees have voted, and make sure they're all in favor, yes, we'll note for the record that the motion is carried. And once again, we applaud you for the trust, confidence that our education partners have in our division and in our commitment to excellent Catholic education. Thank you so much. We will now proceed to number 4 on the agenda, 4.1, notice of motion, change of date of the May Public Board meeting, and we'll turn it over to you, Vice Chair Turchansky, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm trying to get a gold star today. I would like to move that the Board of Trustees approve changing the date of our public board meeting, currently scheduled for Wednesday, May 27th, to Tuesday, May 26th.
Thank you very much. And so I will open queue for questions and or comments to Vice Chair Turchansky's request.
I'd like to speak to my motion.
Oh, yes, you would. My apologies. Would you like to speak to your motion?
I would. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Yes, go ahead.
This change is being proposed out of respect for an important event taking place that same evening. Archbishop O'Leary's commencement ceremonies. As it currently stands, the overlap would mean that members of senior administration, our board chair and others would be unable to attend and support that celebration. It would also impact one of our Student Voice representatives, who is serving as the Master of Ceremony for the commencements. This is a significant role and a meaningful recognition of student leadership, and it would be unfortunate for them to have to miss our public board meeting as a result. I realize that this is a small adjustment for some and a large one for others, but I would be grateful if we would be able to consider this.
That is very kind, Vice Chair Turchansky, and I will open it up for questions and or comments from the rest of the board. And I'm looking at it, nobody's there, thank goodness. Okay, I'll turn it back to you. You don't have to close your motion because you just made a motion and there's nobody in between. So that being said, we will call the vote at this time. There you go. Thank you. We want to make sure. Yep. All have voted and all are in favor. So, the motion to change the public board meeting from
Wednesday to Tuesday.
Thank you. Wednesday to Tuesday has been carried. Thank you. And thank you to the Board of Trustees for always putting students first, and to you, Vice Chair Tuchansky, for your leadership. Greatly appreciated. And this now takes us to 5.1, Board Chair Report. And so April has been another joyful month, and we continue to celebrate hope in our schools. A powerful example was, of course, the 3rd annual Lumen Christi Student Faith Leadership Awards hosted by the Board of Trustees that took place on April 8th and 9th. And we had 54 elementary and 36 junior, senior high students. They were recognized for their service, compassion, and serving exemplary Catholic role models. Now, this wasn't in the report, but I felt like I really had to highlight that one because it was in April, and we just love that event. Now, the one that we're extremely delighted to hear is the provincial announcement of the 189 modulars for the 2026-27 school year. Our division, fortunately, is going to be receiving 31 of those classrooms and 4 additional washroom units. And this is, of course, going to help relieve the overcrowding in 11 of our schools. And of course, as we all know, with the system utilization at 102% and 45% of our schools operating at overcapacity, this is a meaningful step forward for Edmonton Catholic. And of course, it supports our ongoing advocacy for timely solutions. The board was also honored, and we want to thank Chief Superintendent Anderson and, of course, our HR department for including the board in the long service milestone and the significant contributions that our staff makes. Again, this is one of the events that we truly are honored to attend. We're grateful to our administrators, teachers, and support staff for their daily dedication to our students and to our families. Together, we continue the sacred work of Catholic education. And that being said, I'm proud to read the recommendation for the record that the Board of Trustees acknowledges receipt of the April 2026 Board Chair Report on #ECSD Faith Inspirance for information purposes. And we'll now move on to 5.2, Chief Superintendent Report, and we'll turn it over to you, Chief Superintendent Anderson.
Thanks very much, Madam Chair. Before I just highlight a few things in the update, I just want to thank the board for the Board of Trustees for your commitment and dedication. April, May, and June calendars begin to fill up with celebrations and many events that are occurring across the division. And I just want to acknowledge you're always present, you're engaged in whatever it is that we're celebrating, and you truly do want to highlight the good work that we do. So thank you for always being there. So I appreciate that. Speaking of present and engaged, I want to thank the executive leadership team for also being here today, but ongoing your support, collaboration, and commitment, especially in producing these reports that do come to the board. Just really want to acknowledge all the work that you do as well. Just a couple of things I want to highlight in relation to our division priorities. As mentioned under Living Our Faith, the Student Faith Leadership Awards hosted by the Board of Trustees is really a delightful event to celebrate students who through their actions share the light of Christ in their community, and it's always such a joyful event. Under learning excellence, one thing I wanted to highlight, because it was something that does show up in our division survey, our annual survey, is exposing students to career planning. And so we're excited to highlight that My Blueprint is expanded to include junior high students, and it's a tool so that they answer questions. It's self-discovery, and it gives them options in building clarity and confidence and planning for their future. So exposing our junior high students to that just gives them one more access to thinking about their future. Under organizational excellence, 2 groups we really want to highlight is celebrating our Support Staff Appreciation Week, which was April 13th to 17th. And we have many staff who not only support the administrative operations of our schools and division, but also provide support services to our students. So a big thanks to our support staff. And also it's Volunteer Appreciation Week, April 27th to May 1st. And so we want to highlight the extraordinary service and the impact volunteers have on our students and staff. And under embracing diversity, we know that many of our schools participated in activities and learning surrounding World Autism Acceptance Day. And finally, Ben Calf Robe St. Clair School and St. Francis of Assisi School co-hosted the final pipe ceremony of the year. And again, it's always important to participate in those ceremonies. And thank you to both schools for co-hosting. And so the recommendation is that the Board of Trustees acknowledges receipt of the Chief Superintendent's report on hashtag ECSD Faith Inspires April 2026 for information purposes.
Thank you very much, Chief Superintendent Anderson, for your kind words and acknowledgement of the board. I know that they were extremely touched by that acknowledgement. And of course, for your report and your ongoing commitment to growth and excellence. We're proud to recognize you and your team's strong leadership and for sharing these positive updates, which clearly reflect our division priorities. And of course, to the team, I don't know what time it is. It's 6:38 and you're sitting there and you're smiling. And whether those smiles are real or not, we appreciate it. So thank you for being here, for being in the gallery, and just being, again, amazing ambassadors of Edmonton Catholic Schools. We value your efforts in fostering a culture of trust, support, and collaboration, and our sincere thanks, Chief Superintendent Anderson, to you, senior team, our staff, and just everyone who's here. Now, again, I'm not going to say any more because I have tons to say, but this is not a motion, so I'm going to take pride in reading the recommendation for the record and try to get us out of here quickly, that the Board of Trustees acknowledges receipt of the Chief Superintendent's report on hashtag ECSD Faith Inspires April 2026 for information purposes. And this takes us to 6.1, closing prayer, and we'll turn it over to you, Trustee Tiber, to please lead us in closing prayer.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Let's put ourselves in the presence of the Lord in the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen. As we close our April public meeting, we reflect on the season of Easter, a time of renewal, hope, and new beginnings. May the spirit of this season guide our decisions, strengthen our commitment to publicly funded Catholic education, and remind us that our work here matters, not just to us, but to the students and the community we serve. May we leave this place with clear minds, generous hearts, and the courage to act on what we've discussed today. Amen.
Amen.
Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you very much, Trustee Tiber. Beautiful prayer. And the last on the agenda is 6.2, and we are looking for a motion to adjourn and recognize, boy, you're just on fire today. Vice Chair Tuchansky's in queue to make this motion. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that we adjourn this beautiful but long meeting.
Thank you. And do you wish to speak to your motion?
Gosh, no, but thank you.
Thank you. I will open it up to the board, and nobody in queue? No. Okay. So we will now call the vote. Trustees want to get out of here too. So all trustees have voted and are in favor. And so for the record, we will note that the motion is adjourned. Thank you once again for joining us today. And